All right, y'all, the Chickamauga adventure continues. We're hitting a new spot today. If this spot's anything like the others that we've hit recently, we're in for a good time, because all these other places I've been getting a lot of bites and been getting some really good quality fish. So we're going to hit another one today. So let's go ahead and get some baits down here in the water, and then I'll tell you exactly where we're at and what the plan is here for today. We're going to start with some skipjack. I do have some white bass in my cooler as well. I went out on a little bait run yesterday. Look at that fish right, you see that popping up right there. The fish are already excited to be on this video, man. I tell you what, here lately, been getting a lot of fish down here and some good ones too. So here goes our first bait down. That's a skipjack head on a Carolina rig with a bait stalker fly from Catfish Sumo. Well, I've got skipjack and white bass. I went out yesterday morning on a bait run. Got plenty enough bait for the next 2 days of fishing. So we're going to start with skipjack, a head and a chunk, and then at some point this morning, we're going to work in that white bass and see how that does for us too. White bass is a really good bait, but just from personal preference standpoint, if I've got skipjack and white bass, I usually prefer the skipjack. Unless fish have just shown me a clear preference for the white bass, I'm usually going to go skipjack. So here is our chunk of skippy. Down it goes, same rig. We're going to drop it down to the bottom and raise it up. So right now we're setting in 43 feet. So our baits will be down there roughly 40 feet deep. I let that sinker hit bottom. I reel my rod tip down a little bit, raise it up, and stick it in the rod holder. So let me get this skipjack put up here in the cooler, and then I'll give you the rundown where we're at and what we're going to do out here this morning. It's a little later in the morning. Normally, I like to be on the water this time of year right at sunrise, and try to take advantage of that first light time period where you oftentimes get a little feeding window. But my last couple sessions down here, which I'm filming this video on a Thursday, I fished down here Monday and Tuesday, did a bait run yesterday, back today on Thursday. Monday and Tuesday, my best fish came like between 10 and 11 o'clock, right in there. So today I wasn't in a super hurry to get out here, since the morning bite has seemed to be just a little bit later in the morning here. So it's around 8 o'clock right now, 8 a.m., a little after. I'm probably going to fish till about noon today. And so we'll put in 3 or 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours out here and just see if some fish work through this area. I'm going to leave the camera rolling the whole time, raw and uncut, unedited. Y'all my fishing buddies today, man, we on a real fishing trip out here. So what I've done is I've set up, this is like an old creek channel that goes back up in here. And I don't know how well you're going to see on my map card here with the rods in the way. I'm on the bottom edge of this drop. The old channel, I don't know how well you can see, it kind of comes out here, loops around, and then drops off. So I got up here, I found that old channel, and I just come off the edge here at the bottom of the drop and set up. So your ledge, when you come off that drop, it drops straight down, steep angle, and then it starts to kind of gradually level out, right? So I want to be in that corner, right there at the, where it drops off sharp and then starts to level out. I want to be in that corner, right on the edge of that drop. So doing that, when fish are swimming up and down the channel here, just the main river channel, when they're working that break line, following that edge, the bottom edge, up and down through here, we're in position to catch those fish. Fish that come out of this creek channel, we're in position to get them. If they come up the ledge or down the ledge and they go to swim up in here, we're in position to get those, because where the old, well, I'm dark on that screen, y'all, the sun here's behind us, but those old creek channels that were here before they made the reservoir, right? when you find those old channels, and a lot of these you'll open up a contour map, lake map, you'll see where creek channels used to be. And you get out there with your electronics and you look around and you can't find the channel. And that's just because over time, those particular creeks, maybe they were real shallow creeks to begin with, and they've just got silted in through the, the TVA running water, time, et cetera, et cetera. You won't be able to find those old channels anymore. But when you get a more established creek that was a little bit deeper, probably had a little more flow back in the day, those, you'll still find that channel. And oftentimes the bottom composition will still be a little different there. And so I think, this is opinion, not fact, but I think fish use those old channels to travel along. And again, I can't prove that with science, but I've spent a lot of time, a lot of hours on the water through the years, and I've caught a bunch of fish and a bunch of big fish setting up in places like this. So we're trying this out today. Never fished this spot before. Don't know if we'll do any good or not, but I'm gonna have to get my sunglasses too. I'm blinded trying to look this way. Monday, I'd come down and I had fished. There's another creek over there by that power line. I fished over there. Same type of scenario that we're set up here today, bottom edge. Caught a bunch of fish, got a really nice fish. Then Tuesday, I come out here, and right around the corner here where this land is, there's another creek. Same deal. Set up there, got a bunch of fish, got several good quality fun sizers, and then right there, I don't know what time it was, 10:30, 11 o'clock, busted a big fish, man. So we're gonna try another one down here today. This section of the river, Chickamauga is the 4th reservoir on the Tennessee River system. This section of the river is holding a lot of big fish right now. It seems like they're moving up into these creeks to feed throughout the day. And you look at a creek like this, man, this is a big, wide open, since they flooded this to make the reservoir, everything's big, wide open. You got multiple pockets back up in here. Brush along the shoreline. There's probably brush piles that crappie fishermen have sunk back in here. Shad, bait, could be anywhere up and through there. So when fish move up here into this area to feed, I have no idea where the hell they're going. They could be anywhere, following bait, moving along anywhere. But when I set up out here, you get that in that old creek mouth area, there's one way in and one way out that they're going to be following. And so we'll try to get them coming in and out or coming up and down this ledge. So, it's how I like to fish. Vertical fishing like this, the spin fishing, it's a ton of fun. The takedowns are amazing. We're rocking 2 rods today. That's all we're going with. If you're in the right place at the right time, 2 rods will keep you plenty busy. Now, if we worked up in this creek to fish, and I hate doing this, but the correct way to fish this area would be to drag baits with planer boards. That way you could cover a wide spread, and if fish were up in there, various places spread out, you could hopefully get a bait in front of them. I'd drag in one way, turn around, come out the other. We're already hit right here, man. We're already hit. Something's after that bait right there, man. We just had baits in the water I see him on the screen here. He's about to take it down. He's got it down. You can see him right there on the dang screen, man. Let's pick up on him here. Y'all, we getting the action started in this video early today, man. Apparently we ain't. He's come off. Y'all missed that fish. You wanted to see the screen right there. You asked me to dick around showing you the screen. We missed that fish because of you. I blame y'all for that. It certainly wasn't my lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Lack of speed, whatever, to try to get to the rod. I'll grab the next one quicker, by gosh. But, a lot of my friends that fish in the kayak catfishing tournaments that I compete against, they love pulling planer boards, dragging baits. And so, like, when we had the tournament down here recently, a lot of those guys, they were up in these creeks and stuff, pulling them boards and catching fish. Very effective technique. Personally, I don't find it to be very fun. There's a lot of ways to catch a catfish. I think planer board fishing is the least fun out of all of them. So we're out here trying to get those fish on the way in and out. We already had one try to steal a bait from us right there. But yeah, y'all, it's been a good bite lately. We're going to try this creek out today. Some of these creeks, and this is something you don't know till you try them out. But like back home, I fish Fort Loudon, Watts Bar. Those are my two bodies of water closest to where I live, and so I've spent a lot of time on those places throughout the years. Over the course of time, you learn which creeks produce more fish and what times of the year. And so with experience, you can kind of dial things in and figure out where you need to be when you need to be there. But when you're on a new body of water or a new place like this, I've never fished here before, all you can do is just put some time into it and see what happens. And you know, the creek over here that's across the channel there, I'd set up there on Monday. I knew there was big fish in that creek already because my friend Ryan, him and I had done some pre-fishing down here before the tournament on this stretch of the river. And we were out in the main channel during the morning time, and then I left him to go do some carp fishing, and he went into that creek, went shallow, and caught some big fish. So I knew there was some working in and out of that creek. And when I come over, I gotta get my glasses, y'all. I'm gonna go blind out here every time I look that direction. But when I come back on Tuesday and I fish this side of the channel in that creek, I had launched back up in there, my kayak, and on the shoreline, there was a bunch of shells, like mussel shells on the bed, and I thought, or on the ground there. And I thought, well, that's a good sign, because if there's shells everywhere, then there's a mussel bed in that creek, which means that's an easy meal for them catfish. They eat a lot of mussels, so they're probably going to be working up in there, right? So I set up there, boom, caught a bunch of big fish, got a big fish. So this creek here, it's just downstream from that one. Just looking at it, I would assume there's probably some bait back up in here. I don't know about the mussel situation, but we're going to try it out and see. You know, again, you don't know what creeks are going to produce more and which aren't until you get out there and put some time in. And so I just wanted to come check it out, just curiosity. I want to know, of these three creeks right here in this general area, which one's going to produce best for me. And hopefully going forward in the future, this time of year, springtime, I come back down in the future, I'll be able to dial it in. You know, I'll be able to say, okay, of these three, this is the one I probably want to spend some time on in the future. Maybe tournament situation or just fun fishing or whatever. But you know, back home, I've found a lot of places like that, and sometimes you'll have these feeder creeks that run in. You might have them, a few creeks kind of in a close proximity that come in on the river there. Some of them will produce and some of them won't. And you know, it's just one of them things. The only way to know for sure is time on the water, and we're going to put it in a little bit of time out here today. Now, it's easier to test those kind of things out back home, because if you're fishing your home body of water, you don't have to drive very far. This is an hour and 20-minute drive each way for me to get down here. So I know it's a little bit ridiculous for me to drive that far to fish 4 hours or so. But with the volume of fish I've been getting and the quality of fish, it's been a lot easier to justify making the drive. So we're going to try it today and hope for similar success. Already, you know, we got that one bite there, and I had seen when I was looking around up here for the creek channel to try to find exactly where I needed to position myself at. When I started to come off that drop, I saw some fish on that ledge on the graph. Now, I've just got my old Ray Marine graph on this particular kayak. I'm in my pedal kayak today, so no live scope or anything like that, but that graph right there for this style of fishing tells me everything I need to know. I've got my map card on there, so I can use the 2D screen to confirm that I am where I think I am on a particular structure like this. I was able to use the graph portion to locate that old channel up there. And then I was able to just come off the edge of it, and right where it drops off real steep and starts to level out, right there I dropped anchor. So a basic graph gives me everything I need for this style of fishing. Now, can you see fish on there on the 2D screen? Sure. Is that helpful? Maybe it might boost your confidence if you setting up on an area and you see fish when they're there. But honestly, if I had set up here and never saw the first fish, I was still going to set up here regardless, because even if fish aren't here, I expect they could be working through at any given time. You never know when fish are going to be traveling up and down this ledge or working in or out of this creek. So, you know, just because you don't see them on the screen when you first get out there, whoop-de-doo. I think a lot of people, especially people that are kind of new to fishing, they rely too heavily on their electronics. And I know I'm the pot calling the kettle black here, because my other kayak I got live scope and all, and when you got live scope, forward facing sonar there, you kind of look around and look for fish and stuff. But when you're fishing the kind of technique and style I'm doing today, it's really not that important to see fish. You don't have to be very reliant on your electronics. Like back home, for instance, I've fished a lot of days when I'm in this kayak where I don't even have that graph on, because I can pull out my phone app, an avionics app, and it's back home, it's pretty accurate. I mean, it's amazing how accurate it is fishing back home. Now down here, like this spot, for instance, never been here before. I don't know if avionics is accurate right here. So I wanted to have the graph on there. So it's jimmy rigged on. I keep talking about mounting it somewhere on this kayak so that I don't have to keep taking it in and out of the hatch and yada, yada, yada. I'll get to it eventually. It's been on my to-do list. But for now, purposes today, I've just stuck it there in front of the pedal drive. We got it on. I don't even need it on really at this point now that I'm set up where I need to be, but we'll keep it on just to see if we see some fish maybe come up and see our baits there, take a sniff at them. You can kind of see, see if I can take the camera here. We got the rod butts cutting in on the screen here kind of. But, well, there's some fish. There's something down there near my baits, but you see them kind of solid blue looking lines there going straight across the stream. That's my baits. That's the transducer picking up my baits right there. And then that stuff coming in and out, that's probably like bait fish or small fish or stuff. So you can kind of use that if you've got just a basic cheap graph. And again, that graph there, it's a Ray Marine Dragonfly 5. I've had that thing for, gosh, I think I've had it since like 2017, 2018 maybe. So it's 6 or 7 years old. I bought that graph off of a friend of mine. He won it in a bass tournament raffle. And so I think I'd give him $200, I think, for it maybe. $150, $200, something like that. Now we got one after our head here. Oh, okay, he stuck it down pretty hard right here. Fish number one, folks. This in here is gonna stay buttoned up for us. At least I hope he does. Feels like a blue. I feel him rolling every which way down there. Y'all looking, get your sunglasses on, y'all. I'm glad I put mine on. I'd be blinded right now. That sun's bright today. Ain't a cloud in the sky right now. I come out here wearing a hoodie, but the time I pedaled over here, I had to take it off. It's supposed to be warm today. Come down here Monday and froze. It's warming up now. I'm fishing comfort, y'all. Get it warm enough, you can fish in comfort. Now if we can just get rid of the pollen, I won't be snotting the whole time. Yeah, that's a good fish, buddy. He's actually way bigger than I thought he was. I didn't think he was that big at first, but boy, look at this thing. Look at this thing, y'all. Oh man, that's a nice one right there. That is a nice fish. I'm trying to stand up and get a better look at him there for you. Oh, buddy, that's a nice fish. I did not think he was that big. I did not think that fish was that big. How about that for fish number one, man? Can I get a fist pump for number one? That one's totally worth it. On the skipjack head. Buddy, we are off to a good start today. Getting the late start didn't hurt us. Like I said, I woke up early before my alarm because I was excited about coming down here, but I just laid there in bed a little while because I knew the bite's been, for whatever reason, been starting a little later. And here we are. Already hooked up. I'm gonna tire him out a little bit, y'all. This fish right here, he's big enough to do a little damage in here if he starts acting a fool, and he's still mad. Oh man. Y'all, that's exciting. Y'all, good luck, buddy. Y'all. Sometimes you fish with people bring you bad luck. Y'all have brought me some good. Oh no, I dicked around too long. He just come free. He just come free right there, man. We got the quick release on him. Didn't even get to hold him up for a front camera shot. Maybe y'all ain't so lucky after all. Let's send our bait right back down. It ought to be. Still have plenty of blood and oils in there since we just been on the water a few minutes. All them previous statements I was saying about y'all being good luck, I take everything back. I take every bit of it back. I built yous up and look how yous done me right there. Bringing your bad Judy in here and us losing it. I wanted a picture with that one. But hey, even though I can't hold that fish up to the front camera, I'm gonna fist pump the front camera anyway, by gosh. Man, y'all. Man, that was a good fish. I had no idea it was that big when he hit. And you know, the other day out here, it was the fish I had caught, some of them weren't really fighting appropriately for their size either. You know what I mean? Like you would think it was an okay fish, and then you pull it up, you're like, wow, it's bigger than I thought. But that one right there, okay, folks, okay. So we know there's some big fish here. It's gonna be going up and down this ledge right here and in and out of this creek, okay. Now we know. Boy, I'm pumped up, y'all. I'm pumped up, man. I just saw, there was well, even the ripple's already gone now, but there was a buffalo come up right over there. I saw his head. Man, y'all, big fish. I don't know how he come unhooked like that. Maybe I had him, I didn't ever really get a good look at where that hook was at in his mouth. Maybe he was like flesh hooked on the side of the mouth or something. We just pulled out or something. Not a huge deal. I mean, I've got a million fish pictures and we're not in a tournament or anything where we need to score that fish, so not the end of the world. I'd still like to got my hands on it though. Man, y'all, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what else we get out here this morning. I got plenty of bait though. I went There yesterday on the bait run, I filmed it. Hopefully it went well. Something's back over here again. You think he's got it? No, that one didn't. That seemed like a smaller fish right there. Just wanted to pull on that bait a little bit. He's back again after it. Yeah, we're gonna rock that skipjack for now. I got them white bass too on the bait run, which, you know, hopefully that video performed well. You know, obviously I'm filming today. That video hasn't come out yet, so I don't know. My bait trips in the past have not gone. There's not been a lot of interest in them in the past, but I have had requests to do some more bait videos. So I thought, you know what, I'm going out anyway, and well, I'll try to film it, and hopefully some of you's watched it, and if you did watch it, hopefully you found it beneficial or entertaining, or at least learned some stuff not to do or whatever. But nevertheless, we got plenty of bait today. We got, I actually took my bait. I was in my other kayak on the bait run with the motor. Now I took the bait and divided it up. I got half of it here in this cooler with me today, and I got the other half there in my other cooler for tomorrow. But we got plenty. At some point out here, though, we will work in that white bass and just see what that'll do for us. But with 2 rods right now, I want to have the skipjack out because I know that's working. And I had a person, what was I talking about before I go into that story? Oh, I was talking about that graph. But yeah, you know, I can't remember. I bought that graph there for $150 or $200. I can't remember the exact price, but I got it off my buddy Eric there, who had won it in a raffle. And, you know, for this style of fishing, I know the electronics companies, the Lowrances and Garmins, and I'm sure Raymarine has some fancy models too, Humminbirds. They want to sell you the newest, latest, greatest technology for thousands of dollars. Every year they come out with something new that you got to spend thousands on. And you can go do it, man. If you got deep pockets, you can go out there and get the latest and greatest every year. And having live scope and being able to see in front of you and stuff, it's fancy, buddy. It's a spectacle. But do you need it to catch fish? No, you don't. A basic graph. Before I had gotten this Raymarine graph, I had an even cheaper one. I had like a little 4-ounce black and white Lowrance. Didn't even have a map card. So I would use the graph and then pull out my phone to the Navionics app and use those two in conjunction when I set up on places. But having the map card inside the unit makes it a lot easier. But like that one there, just a little 5-inch screen, you know, I mean, it's plenty big enough. Because again, I don't really need the 2D for anything other than just confirming where I am on a particular structure. So, you know, if you're new to the sport, or you're wanting to get a kayak, you're looking for a graph, you're interested in maybe this style of fishing that I'm doing today, then you can pick you up a graph. I'm sure those things probably, if you found a used one of that model as old as it is on eBay or something, you probably get it $50, $100, I'm sure. Or something comparable. I mean, you don't have to get that particular model. There's nothing special about it. Raymarine, Lowrance, Humminbird, I mean, they're all accomplishing the same goal, which is showing you your depth, your speed, and if you got a map card in it, hopefully the contours. That rod over there was getting tapped again. Probably gonna end up switching that head bait out here very soon if they're gonna keep tearing it up. I want baits in good a condition as possible when I'm only fishing 2 rods. And we've got plenty of bait, so we don't really need to be conservative today. That's another perk of fishing 2 rods, is you don't need as much bait. So you can, but if you are going to fish 2 rods, you need everything in good condition down there. You need it fresh and looking good for when fish do come through. But, you know, like my friend Ryan, he's the planer boarder. His philosophy is he wants 8 rods out, you know, because the more baits in the water, the more chances of the fish, is what he says. And the logic is there. But my logic is, if I can't catch them with 2 rods, I probably ain't going to catch them with 8. And if I'm in the right place that I need to be at the right time, 2 rods is going to keep me plenty busy. So I've been there and done that. Starting out, first got started kayak fishing, I kind of kept it simple like this, 2 rods. Then you start going through the progression. You start adding more. It's like, okay, I'm fishing 2, can I fish 4? Okay, I'm fishing 4, can I go to 6? And then you kind of settle in, like, I settled in on 4 rods for the longest time. And it's fun, buddy, if you're suspending baits and you get 4 fish on at the same time, and that happens, like if you go through a school, maybe you're drifting, or you get a school, or you're anchored and you get a school of fish come through, every rod could go down at the same time. That happens, and that's fun, man. But as more time goes on, and I guess I get a little older and a little wiser, or at least think I'm getting a little wiser. Whether I am or not is debatable, but in my mind, I feel like I am. As time goes on, I find myself gravitating back toward a more simple setup. I've talked about that countless times now, but like I love coming out in this kayak with just the pedals, no motor, most of the time no electronics. Today, just simple, basic graph, 2 rods. You know, it don't take a lot of time it didn't take me hardly any time to rig up this kayak because there's virtually nothing on it. Drilled some holes for my rod holders, put some gear tracks on them front plates up there. That's it, man. That's all I had to do to rig this kayak. I pull out the pedal drive, then the kayak's lightweight. I can launch it anywhere, like this backwater creek over here above us that I launched in. Man, there's technically a ramp there, but if I tried to back down into the water, I'd be scraping bottom because it's the chunk rock there on the concrete's all busted up and everything. So this kayak, I can just lift it off the trailer, drag it down to the water, and put it in anywhere, man. And it's just simple. My other kayak, there's no way in hell. If I ain't got a concrete boat ramp that I can back into, I don't fish there. So I enjoy this setup. It's catching fish in a smaller kayak is what drew me into kayak fishing anyway, because it's just more fun. The takedowns are more intense. You get a fish swimming sideways, the whole kayak wants to spin around, man. It's a blast. But if you're interested in kayak fishing, you want to get you a graph, or if you got a boat, maybe you got a boat you're rigging out, and you don't have thousands of dollars to spend on a side scan unit or live scope, you don't have to have it. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get at here, is that you can keep a simple, more budget-friendly setup and still be able to go out and have success and catch fish. Like you don't, just because all the Joneses out there have all the latest and greatest technology, you don't have to. I've beat a lot of these planer board guys they're running 8 and 10 rods. I've beat a lot of them with 2 rods. In the tournaments. It's about the key to fishing success is putting your baits where the fish are, when they're going to be there. And if you can figure that out, if you can get good at studying contour maps and understand how fish move, that's going to do way more for you than any electronics or gadgets. And education's free, man. You can get on YouTube and learn. You can get online, learn. I mean, that don't cost you a dime to educate yourself. Not in 2024, buddy. So you can keep things on a budget. And I was about to lead into a story there before I got sidetracked back on this. I had a person the other day, and I'll tell you what, let's do while I tell this story. Let's cut us up another bait, because that head's been hit numerous times, and I want to hit something after it again. Okay, let's just reel. Oh, dang, tease. That's small fish down there, chewing up that bait. Let's cut another one up, spruce things up a smidge. We'll go ahead and, since that other fish over there had hit our chunk that's on the other rod, we'll go ahead and just cut a new one. Chunk and put on too, and I'll take that other chunk when we reel it up, and I'll cut it up in smaller pieces and drop it down, and hopefully we'll feed the hungry children like Sally Struthers, and they'll leave our bigger baits on the hook alone. If we get them some smaller chunks down there that they can actually consume. But I was leading into a story. I had a comment. We're in this time of the year now. We're into spring. I don't know what today is. Where's my phone at? It's April 25th today. And this time of year happens every year. YouTube views on fishing videos, my channel specifically, starts to pick up. And when I get all of these new viewers, people that don't normally watch, you start getting a lot of comments in the comment box that aren't as enjoyable as the comments that I get in the fall and winter months, when it's just people that actually enjoy fishing watching. You know what I mean? Oh, look over here. That fish right there, he's on that chunk right there. Oh, he's got it, buddy. Oh, look at that one. Look at that one. Here, let's do this right quick. Let's drop this bait down, and we're gonna reel up on that one. That was a nice takedown, buddy. He spun the whole front of the kayak around. Let me get this bait down there. I want to get, with only 2 rods, I want to get it reset. Okay, now let's pick up on it. You better still be on there fishing. Oh no, he swam toward my anchor rope, y'all. I gave him too much time. He swam backwards toward my anchor rope. I don't know why I'm whispering right now. There he goes. I don't think he got in it. I think we got lucky. We got lucky on that one, y'all. I gave him all that time. Well, the one thing about being in this kayak without the motor is I don't have the option of spot locking. So we are, oh, this is a fun sizer right here. He's all wrapped up in that line. He's gonna act a fool when he gets unlassoed here. Watch him about to take off here in a second. He thinks he's free. Now he knows he's hooked again. Come up here, fish. Man, this one's nowhere near as big as the first. There he goes. I knew he was gonna take off because he was lassoed around that line, and they always just go calm when they're constricted. This one ain't as big as that first one, but he's a good quality fish nonetheless. Man, we're off to a dang good start right here, y'all. Is it possible of these 3 creeks that this one's the best? Maybe. It's one of them things we wasn't going to know till we got down here and tried them out. This bite right here, this pattern, you know, people watch videos, these YouTube videos, and they try to get you background and figure out exactly where you're at. And it's easy with me because I'll show you my graph, you know. I ain't like some of these YouTubers that try to hide backgrounds and stuff. Like I'm trying to help people, you know. I want you to be able to learn not to steal spots, but to be able to open up a contour map and say, well, you know what, it's April 25th and Justin's catching fish here in 40 feet deep in front of a shallow backwater creek. Let me open up a map wherever you're at. And as this fish is swimming off here with our head now, we doubled. Let's put this one back in the rod holder. Let him finish tiring himself out and pick up on this one. But you know what I mean? Like I'm hoping that you will take what you see on my channel and apply it to your own body of water. Because this bite, you know, if somebody watched my first session down here on Monday and they thought, oh, that's the spot over there, you know, I got to come fish that spot. Sure, you might catch some fish. But that bite, it's going on all over. It's a pattern. It's not just a magic spot, it's a pattern. And so you can apply that. Now, will every one of these creeks up and down the river here be producing like we've experienced here this week? Probably not. But I'd bet you probably 70, 75% of them will be. And some of them's going to be better and some worse. You don't know till you get out there. And here's another good fish, buddy. Here's another good one. Look, look, look. He's got another fish with him. He's got another fish with him there that was trying to get the bait. Did you see that? He come up there. He's still here. Look. Look, he's right here with him. Oh, man. I hope that's getting on camera. He was right there under the kayak. He's still right here. I see him swimming around. I've lost sight of him now. He was trying to get the bait from that fish, and he was every bit as big as him. Oh, man, y'all. We have got to get some more baits down there. See? This right here. Now, if we had 4 rods, and look at all them fish right there on the screen, too. You see them there on the screen? Yeah, we need to... This one here is going to go crazy because he's got the hook in the mouth, and my stinger has wrapped around the line on his back, so he's going to act a fool when he gets unlassoed right now. There he goes. I knew it. Oh, don't go back there to my anchor fish. He went right back there. Yeah, let's land this one while we let that other one tire himself out. I can't believe I've had that happen numerous times with smaller fish. And one time I was reeling in a flathead and had a blue come up and try to rip the bait out of its mouth. But that was the biggest catfish that I've had come up after another one. Biggest blue. He's still going over there, man. He's wound up. We're gonna have to put the front camera mount up here, y'all. We got some front camera worthy fish here happening. Then I'm gonna eventually finish my story. Let's put this. See, that's why you need sturdy rod holders for this situation right here, buddy. I think he's in my anchor rope back there. We're gonna have a mess with that fish. He's gonna cause us problems. Okay, come on in. Let's bring this one in. Oh man, y'all, this is so fun. Y'all need to experience this here. Y'all should be helping me reel in these fish right now, man. There we go. There we go, y'all. Let's hold this one up, and we're gonna get another bait down there, drop it down, and then we're gonna work on getting this one out of our anchor. Look at that. We're on them, man. We are on them right here. We'll see you, fish. Okay. First, let's stick this other chunk on. I already had it cut, was about to switch it out, which we apparently didn't need to do. Crap, it's up under my seat, y'all. Hand me that piece of bait up under my seat. Y'all just gonna sit there and watch me, at least help me out here and hand me a piece of bait. Y'all should be over there working that fish out of our anchor right quick while I'm fooling with this. Okay, I'm gonna drop this right back down. I'm still seeing more fish on the graph there. This one may get bit while we're fooling with the other one. We know there's another one down there. We saw him come up after that one. They are aggressive today. You know, we had that little cold snap come down here Monday. Froze my hind end off Monday morning. But we've had some warm afternoons, stable weather here, and maybe it's turning these fish on today. You know, I think we've gotten We've gotten real fortunate here, y'all. This fish has come out of my anchor on his own. Thank you, fish. It's the nicest thing a fish has ever done for me. He's still wound up though. I'm gonna leave you up there in the front camera mount position, the front seat here for a minute while I get this thing landed. All right, fish, it's time to calm down. It's time for indoor behavior now. It's time for indoor behavior. This one's still wound up, man. Okay, you're done. You're done whether you want to be or not, fish. Well, I want to get another bait back down. I ain't even landed you yet, and I'm already done with you. Ready for the next one. Come on, fish. Okay. Uh-huh. There we go. Whew. Oh, man. 2 of them, buddy. Back to back. All right. Oh, huh? Sorry, fish, you got the sun behind you, but that's all right. We may not get the best picture right now, but boy, we had a dang good time reeling him in. Oh, man. I can feel it. He's wanting to flop. Get on out of here, fish. Get on and go. I could feel him about to flop on us there, man. Well, I guess we're going to be cutting another head because he threw that one off. Let me do that. We'll be reset. I'm not seeing really anything on the screen right now, but them fish, they've probably moved up or moved in this area. But there's some working through, so we'll probably get some more here in a little bit. You know, like I said there, the Monday and Tuesday, the better fish came later in the morning, so I was like, I ain't gonna rush out here today. Just give it a little time. I knew I needed the fish the morning today, so I got to get my car serviced this afternoon, so I couldn't fish the afternoon hours. But I wanted to make sure I was here around 10, 11 o'clock. And clearly today, these fish are getting it going at least a little bit earlier than that. I'm gonna eventually tell you my story. Eventually. We had more important stuff here going on, needing to reel these fish in, didn't we? That is fun, y'all. I just can't tell you. You don't get that experience in a boat. I mean, you can reel in fish in a boat, sure, but the takedowns, kayak spinning around, man, you just don't get that. You don't get that in a big kayak, and you don't get that in a boat. This is just way more fun. All right, we'll get that thing reset. There it is. And sticker. That's a big skipjack right there, buddy. I'll stick it back in the cooler. I keep wanting to get me another big cooler. What I actually want to do is take the Yeti. I got a size 35 Yeti that I usually have in my Hobie. I want to put it in this kayak and get a little bit bigger size cooler for my Hobie, which is a bigger kayak. I got more space in it. But I'm cheap and coolers are expensive, so I haven't done that. All right, y'all, we set back up, head over here, chunk over here. We are, we're on them right now, man. We're on them, buddy. I'm gonna get me a swig of water right quick, y'all. Bear with me a second here. I'm parched. Hopefully this fancy pants microphone I got on today don't enhance my gulping at all. It'd be super obnoxious if it did. I'm very curious to hear opinions of people listening to me talk with this fancy microphone. I've used it now the last 3 trips, and obviously those videos haven't come out yet, so I haven't gotten the feedback yet. So if this microphone is not working out, I'm going to have a few videos a few more film before I find out that I need to ditch it. But it is, so far, it's easier on me since it connects to my camera without, just through Bluetooth. It's easier for me to use because I can plug my battery pack into the camera and have access to a microphone instead of having one or the other. Or dealing with GoPro's nonsense where you got to have a media mod to connect multiple things, and then everything, you overheat all day long. Anyway, y'all don't care about that. But the story I was going to tell. So again, we're in spring now. YouTube views are picking up, more casual viewers watching, which means my comment box gets dumber and dumber. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of the comment box anyway. There's a lot of people that watch my videos regularly that I enjoy interacting with. I feel like we've kind of become friends through the years because some of you have followed me literally from the start of this channel, which is, gosh, how many years has it been now? I think 2016 I had posted several. I think my first videos weren't really YouTube videos. They were just some camera footage, and I needed a place to store it. And those got put up there, I think, maybe end of 2015. But I think 2016 I posted a few videos, and then 2017 a few more, and then it kind of got going after that. So, I mean, we're talking 8 years now, and I've had some of you stick with me from the very start. So, yeah, I feel like between just the amount of interaction that I've had in the comment box through the years, and the fact that I have met some of them, some of you all that comment, I've met you in person, whether it be like catfish conferences or just out and about, just randomly at boat ramps or at our tournament meetups and check-ins and stuff. So, you know, I feel like I've become friends with a lot of people, and I go into the comment box so that I can interact with them. But to interact with them in the comment box, you oftentimes got to weed through the cesspool. It's like walking through a septic tank, you know, to find a ring that you accidentally flushed down the toilet or something, you know. So you go in with good intentions and come out covered in crap. That's how it usually goes in the comment box. And this time of year, in the fall and winter, it's great because it's just the people who want to watch your videos that are commenting. But in the spring and summer, you get a lot more casual viewers, and the overall quality of the comments go way down. But anyway, I had a person write me a comment yesterday, and well, when I say write a comment, they wrote an essay. This thing was about a page long in the comment box. They need to cap the damn comment box, what they need to do. They need to put, what is it, like Twitter or X or whatever that platform. I'm not on there. I have an account on there, but I'm never on there. I think they had like a cap on how many letters you could use or characters or whatever, so it limited how much you could type on there. And a lot of people, I remember, used to complain about that, but I thought it was brilliant because it prevented people from writing you essays of complaining about every detail of everything you do in the comments, you know. So anyway, I get this comment. It's an essay. It's a page long. And usually when people write me out an essay, they're the type of people that didn't spend much time writing essays in high school or college because the words are misspelled and the grammar's terrible. Like they should have applied that kind of effort in school, so then maybe now when they're in people's comment boxes, they wouldn't look like complete idiots right before I even start reading. When I see a bunch of misspelled words in a day and time where we have spell check on everything, and when you don't know how to use basic punctuation like commas and periods, and you don't know how to capitalize the beginning of the sentence there, the first word, like, you've already lost a little credibility with me. You know, whatever you're lecturing me on, telling me that I need to do better at, you know what I mean? Like, if it was something that was written out very eloquently with good grammar and proper punctuation and properly spelled words, well, then maybe I could take it a little more seriously. But this person lost credibility right off the bat, and they were upset with me because this fish don't want me telling this story. That's a little thump and a slow takedown here. Okay. Oh, he just let it go. I thought he had it. Let me show you my screen real quick. See that right there? That is what them fish look like on this kind of graph. They've got them little lines going straight across. That's our bait. And those curved marks are fish coming up and nipping at our baits there. So that's what they look like right there. That fish, I guess, didn't want me telling the story. I'm gonna get it out. It may take me a half hour if they keep biting, but I'm gonna get the story out. So this person was upset with me. I wrote a page-long essay about me. How did he go about it? The basic premise of his essay, at least I got tired of reading it at some point and just blocked his ass. But the basic premise was that he was struggling financially. He was poor, and he was having trouble feeding his family, and that I needed to do a better job of showing people how to fish on a budget. I need to do bank videos with gear that's affordable to help people like him that's struggling to feed their families and needs to put food on the table. And, you know, there's so many things to unpack with that. As this rod over here is getting chewed on, some small fish down there chewing on that bait. Leave it alone, fish. He's starting to swim with it. He's swimming with it, but he ain't went with enough force to hook himself, assuming he's even got the hook. Okay, now maybe he's got it. These fish today, buddy, they don't give a crap, buddy. They're just going to slowly, just nonchalantly swim off. I think it's going to be a better fish than what I thought he was when he was after the bait there. I thought it was a little dink messing with it. He's going to be a solid fish. I'm going to eventually get this story out, y'all. To be continued. This thing right here is solid, man. I looked at that rod. I didn't think he was going to be as good as what he's going to turn out to be. And he ain't even really fighting is the thing. Like, I'm just pulling on him, and he just feels good, man. He ain't even really took off yet. Okay, it's a blue. I felt him roll just then. I keep waiting to bust a flathead. I keep waiting on it. Time is right. I'm sure there's some big flatheads working in and out of these creeks, same as the blues. Oh, look at this one. There it goes. We're doubled. We're doubled. What a day, y'all. What a day. Glad I come down here today. I could have very easily decided to go back to either one of those other creeks, but I said, you know what? I want to come down here. I want to try this one. I'm glad I did. Now, there could be plenty of fish biting at the other ones too. There probably are. But boy, right here, we're in the right place, right time, right now. We got us a good one on right here, buddy. This one's going to be I think this one's going to be the biggest one thus far. He just keeps taking some line. I've got my drag set pretty tight. Man, that other fish over there, y'all just holler at him, tell him he's going to have to wait. Unless I can get one of y'all to get off your hind ends and reel in that fish for me. Come on up here, fish. I just want to get a look at this thing in case we have any other mishaps, any craziness goes on. Thankfully, he's staying in this area, not getting back there. When you get one that you can't really do much with, you're at a risk of them getting in your anchor rope, and I sure don't want any of that nonsense today. Monday out here, I had everything happen. I got pulled off anchor, got a line hung in my anchor, had a fish tie knot in my sinker and my line. I had a hook straighten out. I mean, like, I just kept having stuff go wrong on Monday. It was a weird day. And it remained weird when I got home because I had other stuff go wrong. My weed sprayer, and it was just one of them days. But thankfully, the rest of the week has went pretty well for me. This is going to be a beast right here, buddy. This is going to be a monster. I'm going to get me a golly whopper on my golly whopper rod here. Pretty sure this one, we're going to pull him up and be like, wow. And if we ain't, it's going to be a wow in the other direction, like, that fish fought that hard and he was only that big. That happens sometimes when you accidentally foul hook one. But I think this one here, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. And some big bubbles. Yeah, that's a beast. I got a glimpse of him down there. That's a beast. That's a blue. Big blue. He's going to have to be played out, that is for sure. I don't think our other one's on over there. I think y'all missed your chance on reeling it in. Let's get him back up here, see if we can get a look at him. I think I got a couple bass fishermen or crappie fishermen over here in this creek. They're over there. They're gonna see a big fish landed. This fish here eats the fish they're after. Look at him, man. Holy cow, that's a big one. That's a golly whopper. Golly whopper. On my golly whopper rod from Catfish Sumo. Love it, y'all. On the head. Skipjack head for the win today. My favorite bait in the world. We are going to try a white bass head at some point, though. Man, look at that thing. Yeah, I'm just going to tire him out a little more. This thing here is so big. I don't want him coming in here and flopping everywhere. That's when damage happens. You get one this big throwing their weight around. Yeah, that other fish has come off on that other rod. Probably for the best, honestly. What I don't want is this fish and another one swimming circles around each other. I don't want this fish swimming circles around another fish. I don't want him swimming around my anchor rope, and I don't want him getting in my pedal drive. There's a lot of things I don't want from this fish. I do want a picture with him, though. What do you think, y'all? Worth the drive today? I think it is. I'd drive an hour and 20 minutes for this type of fish right here any day of the week. All right, fish, I'm gonna get him over here now and try to see what we can do with him, see if we can get a hold of him. Well, I thought I was. Now he's wanting to go back down again. Okay. My arm's tired, y'all. I need one of y'all to help an old friend out here. Okay, fish. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, let's see what we can do here. Man, y'all. Let's get hold of him. Let's get hold of him. Okay, buddy. You're gonna be calm, ain't you? You're gonna be calm? Oh, buddy, we got him in. Oh, buddy, we got part of him in anyway. Oh, man, look at that thing, buddy. He takes up the whole floor. Oh, y'all. Huh. Let me touch that dang screen there and get it where I can see something. Oh. Oh, man, y'all. Oh, that dang sun's behind us, too. Oh, man, y'all, this is a big fish. I'm gonna try to get the hook out of him here, and then I'm gonna... Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Bad news, we ain't getting the hook out of this one. He's hooked too deep. He's hooked too deep. I hate that. He's not bleeding. It's not down in the gills, but it's back there near the crushers, I think it's called, in his mouth. Like there's no way I can get down in there to get it out. I gotta cut that other line there. I hate that. Okay. I hate that. He should be all right. He's not bleeding or anything. This is a beast of a fish right here, though, y'all. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get a picture with this fish. Come hell or high water here. I'm gonna take my damn cutting board and I'm gonna paddle us. Toward the sun. YouTube pro tip 101. When you hold up a fish, face into the sun. You'll get better pictures. This is really, I look ridiculous right now, don't I? I can only imagine what them crappie fishing or bass fishing, whatever they're, I can only imagine what they think right now. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Let's hold him up here quick before the wind spins us back around. Oh, man. Look at that, man. Oh, it's exciting, buddy. He was a battle. Oh, man. Oh, y'all. That's a brute, man. That's a tank. That's a golly whopper, as I like to call them. Oh. All right, buddy, you ready to get out of here? He said he didn't want to come up here to begin with. He tried everything in the world to keep from coming up here. Our other rod over is getting messed with now, too. All right, let's let him go. We'll see you, buddy. No. That's about all I can do with that fish. He gone. I think he'll be okay. You know, obviously I hate leaving a hook on a fish. I hate that. But what can you do in that situation? It was so far deep down. If I tried getting down in there and pulling it out, I was gonna risk hurting him more, but he wasn't bleeding. So hopefully he'll be okay. I've caught a lot of fish with hooks in them that are thriving just fine, so. Y'all, the adrenaline inside me right now. My hands are shaking. My hands are shaking right now. It's awesome. Oh man, it's awesome. Here's what we gotta do though, y'all. Here's what we gotta do. I'm pretty sure that one still has bait on it because it was just getting hit again. I thought we had one on while I was reeling that one up, but it either come unhooked or didn't have it or something, so. We have got to get another line down And the line tied on and get another head bait on right now. Oh man, oh man, y'all, we're on them today, buddy. We are on them today, folks. Yep, we're on them, man. I could have easily just said, I'm gonna fish one of them other 2 creeks there that I've caught fish in recently, but I just wanted to come down here and see what was going on. Having not fished here before, I didn't know which one was going to be the most productive, if they were all going to be productive. You know, you don't know. And these spots, they look great on a map, but you don't know till you put baits in the water. All right, I'm gonna run this sinker back through. This is a 8-ounce egg sinker. Catfish Sumo sells these, and if you notice, what makes these sinkers different, and I love this feature. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but see that little green thing in there? That's a liner that goes down inside the sinker. So when you run your line through and fish are flopping around and your sinker's going up and down on your line, it's not creating friction, and it's not creating any abrasion there to potentially wear on your line. To my knowledge, Catfish Sumo is the only company making something like that right now, but I highly recommend it. It's a big help. Sometimes you get just a normal lead sinker, and the inside of them is kind of a rough texture. And if you're a person like me that's kind of lazy and you don't retie your knots very often, then you're at risk of potentially losing a big fish if you've got a weak spot in your line from the sinker. All right, we're retied. Let me pull us out another skippy here. That's another big one right here. I got on some good quality there. Yesterday I was fishing Watts Bar Dam, and in that video where I was catching these and some white bass, should have been the video right before this one for regular viewers. And if you're a new viewer, thanks for stopping by the channel. Thanks for coming fishing with me today. But it'll be the video right before this if you're interested in maybe learning how to catch skipjack, or at least how I go about catching skipjack. I'm not a guy that likes to make a million casts for skipjack. I like to troll for them whenever possible. It's a productive technique, and especially when they're spread out and not in a confined area. If you're on a big school of skipjack, or if they're real thick in an area and you can sit there and cast and catch them every single cast, well by all means, you know, cast for them. But if you're just kind of sporadic and you're getting a fish here and a fish there, in that case, troll for them, man. That's the way to do it. You can keep 2 lines in the water the whole time, and you can cover water and run into them. All right, next bait going down. What have we got going? We got our line, there we go. We had our line wrapped around a rod tip. Every time I talk, I feel like I got something like that happening. Every time. That's that same rig too, Carolina rig with the bait stalker fly on there. That rod had got hit. There it goes. Boy, we're on it, man. These fish do not want me telling you the story of that person. Oh, he come off. Let's just check out this bait. It's been hit 3 or 4 times now, so. Look right here. Golly, bum. Let's pick up on this one. Nope. He come off. Let me set this one back down. And then we're gonna spruce up this other bait up here since we got it reeled up. these fish will let us spruce up the bait. You know what, let's do this. Since the better fish have come on the head bait thus far, let's feed the hungry children down there with that one. Let's put on that white bass. You want to do that? You want to try out a white bass? I think that's a good time to do it. We'll just use 2 head baits since we're getting so much action and there's some big fish in the area. I can find them. Bear with me a second, folks. There's one. I think I had 2 in each cooler. Yeah, I do. I kept 2 in my other cooler there for tomorrow, and then stuck 2 in this bag. Bring with us today. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the skipjack head, but it's okay. It's a head bait nonetheless. As clear as this water is and the sun and the sky where it is, they may be able to see, and we've often wondered, these head baits, are they able to see the eyes on those head baits? Don't know. But either way, we're going to drop it down. We're going to try it out. I'm having fun today, y'all. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm having fun today. Today is a good day. There's a lot of days you come out, you know, you do this style of fishing right here, you in the right place at the right time, today happens. If you're in the wrong place, or if you're in the right place at the wrong time, you set on the water and nothing happens. And I've had a lot of days like that. It don't always go like today, folks. It's just, you have good days and you have bad days. Today's a good day. You gotta try to appreciate days like today when you get them, since they don't come along all the time. Look right here. He's got that head bait, man. He's pulling some line. He's pulling line, buddy. My drag got hit or something there. I don't think he should have been pulling line like that. I don't think he was pulling line because he's just a monster. I think he was pulling line because I must have bumped my drag when I was retying. I'm gonna eventually tell that story, y'all. If you've stuck with me this long, I'm sorry these damn fish keep interrupting things. If you're gonna get interrupted, it might as well be from big fish, right? Somebody out there is watching an internet land right now, like, Justin, we don't tune in to watch no damn fish being caught. We tune in to hear you gripe about things. Oh, come here, fish. I don't want you throwing that head off. I don't want him to throw, he's gonna throw that head bait off, y'all, before I can get hold of him, or get hold of the head one. It's dangling right there. I don't want to lose it. It ought to still be good. We just no longer, we've had it down there. Come here. Come here. Get up in here. If you're gonna flop around, you do it in here so we don't lose that dang head. Okay. Boy, bit down on my thumb. If you'd open up, I'd have that thing out already, fish. There we go. All right, we got our head bait back. worried about that. It ought to catch us another fish or two. No longer than it's been down there. Lord, I'll fix that in a minute. Let's get rid of this in here first. Fish, normal day, you front camera worthy. Today, the bar's too high. We ain't got time to fool with him. We gotta get another bait down. Boy, he got the dang stinger fly in the, there we go. Well, he ran everything through that. Boy, the stinger fly saved her baits. What happened there? He would have flung it off. Okay, now we back in the game here. Okay, back down it goes, y'all. Back down it goes. Where it stops, only the fish know. There's more on the screen, though. We're in the right spot today. Right place, right time, y'all. Stars have aligned for us today. The moon was still out when I was driving down, and it still looked full. I don't know when the actual full moon was. You know, it looks full for a few days. I don't know when the official day is, but usually full moon, I don't do well until the moon goes down. So, yeah, but anyway, I'm tired, y'all. I feel like I've done some bicep curls out here today. I gotta get me another swig and I may attempt to finish telling the story. Whew, maybe not. Good golly, we got another one, y'all. I just told this fish my arm was tired. He don't give a crap. He ain't give me no break. This fish right here is the worst boss ever. Whenever, I don't know when National Bosses Day is. I know that kind of thing exists though, because there's a day for everything. Well, whenever National Bosses Day comes about, this fish right here, I ain't buying him no cake, because he's working me like a dog out here. I don't know why he don't want y'all reeling him in. They making me work for it today. He better not have thrown that head off either if we just dropped it back down. I see the head. Oh, he's hooked in the, oh, he's got the fly. This fish ate the fly right here. Yep, fly fish. I got a big one out here on the fly. Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. I got that big one on the fly. And flies get you a lot of extra fish. They are a great addition to your rigs. If you got the ability to tie them, by all means. If you need to get you some, I'll plug Catfish Sumo again because they've got them available. But if you just get you one and put on there, you'll be surprised how many fish it's going to get you. Whether it's fish like this one here that's ate the fly, or fish that maybe would have popped off the cut bait hook, but you end up sticking them with the stinger from the fly. So you end up with a lot of extra fish. Come here, let's get that old fly out of you now. Come on, fish. Now I want to get you bait back down there. I got your friends to catch here, buddy. I got your friends to catch now. Okay, you get on. Let's fix this back and send it right back down. It's 2 fish on it, but it's still no longer than it's been down there. It's still good condition. Bait don't stay down there very long right now, does it? There's a bunch of fish in this area. Whether or not they're going up and down the ledge or in and out of this creek, we don't know. Don't really matter either way. We're set up to get them both ways. And we don't need no boat. We don't need 8 rods. We don't need no damn planer boards to get them either, do we? I love taking a shot at them planer board guys anytime I can. And every time I see them, you know, it's one thing if you pulling planer boards in a creek like this, where fish could be spread out anywhere. But when I see them working ledges with planer boards, I'm like, that person don't really have a good idea of how fish are going to be moving along those ledges. But anyway, I don't want to be that type of person, sit here and talk a bunch of crap about people. But anyway, the story. I'm gonna try to get to it eventually. We might get one damn story in today at the way these fish keep biting. So this person wrote me an essay in the comment box, and poor grammar, misspelled words, but the gist of it was that they got a bunch of financial problems, having trouble feeding their family. And I need to do a better job of showing people how to fish from the bank. And I need to be using budget gear to show people how to catch fish on a budget, because they're going through hard times and everybody else is too. And I've lost touch with what's going on in the world. Like I don't understand their difficulties. I mean, it was a page long, man. That's why they need to cap the number of words you can put in a damn comment box. Because I mean, it's literally called the comment box. A comment, not an essay. It's not the essay box. It's not the dissertation. It's not the thesis box. It's a damn comment box. But anyway, this guy, man, I always get annoyed with people like this. First off, I get that people are struggling out there. There's a lot of people having hard times right now, and I'm very fortunate in the situation that I'm in. I get that. But at the same time, too, this person and other people's personal financial problems are none of my business. You know, I went through hard times financially at one point in my life, too. I talked about that in a recent video. I had a car wreck. I got hurt real bad. I broke my pelvis in numerous places. My head of my femur, the leg bone, went through my hip, knocked a hole in it. I had broken ribs, lacerated spleen, like I was messed up bad. I was told I wasn't ever going to walk normal again. I was going to have a limp because of the way my femur had knocked the hole in my acetabulum, which is your actual hip bone. Most of the time, when you hear about like some elderly person falling and breaking a hip, they say they've broken the hip, but really what they've done is they've broken the head of their femur, which is their leg bone at the top there. That's usually what they've broken. In my case, I actually broke my hip, my femur, because I guess I was 25, I was young, healthy, had good bones, strong bones. My femur didn't break, but knocked a hole through. And so I was told that because of that, it wasn't going to sit right in there, and I was going to have a limp, I was going to have chronic pain, I was going to need a hip replacement in a few years, yada, 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 yada. And so I'm out of work for a while, and I was in debt up to my eyeballs at that point. I just got the house, I had a truck that was more than I could afford, motorcycle, boat. I mean, I had financed my lifestyle that I could not afford at that age and income level. And so I know a little bit about hard times financially, okay? When you can't work and you don't even have prospects of being able to work because of, now fortunately, again, I've rebounded, I recovered, rehab went well, I've got no limp, I've got no chronic pain, I haven't needed the hip replacement. I can't tell you when the weather changes, you know, people's had bone injuries and stuff. They claim they can feel it in their bones and their knees and whatnot. I can't tell you a damn thing when the weather's going to change. I'm very fortunate. Things worked out well for me. But during that time period where I thought I was going to potentially have a limp the rest of my life and chronic pain, and I couldn't work for a few months, and I had all these bills and no money. And so I know a little bit about financial struggles is what I'm getting at. So when people leave me these type of comments in my comment box, it kind of strikes a chord with me. We got another slow takedown right here. Let's see if he's on. I don't know if he is or not, or if he just let go possibly. Yeah, he's on. So when people leave me comments like this, what I'm getting at is it resonates with me a little bit, because they talk like I don't know a damn thing about being poor, or having bill collectors calling, or not knowing how you're going to keep your lights on. He just come free. He did. He let go. You know, I know damn well what it's like to have genuine fear and concern that your house is going to get foreclosed on, or that you're not going to be able to pay your electric bill. You know, I mean, when I went through that situation, let me take a detour here, to gripe about our government a little bit. So when that happened to me, I couldn't work. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't bear weight on my left side for, my wreck happened August 11th. I took my first step. I was able to bear weight, took my first step November 8th. During that time period, I was basically stuck at home, man. Home and doctor's offices, using a walker to kind of get around. So I got no income. I can't work, physically can't work. My mom goes down to I done forgot what kind of office it is now. I done forgot what it's called, but where you apply for food stamps, okay? This is, you know, and it's damn near embarrassing to even talk about this crap, but I mean, it was just a point in life where I was at, like I was injured. I was physically injured. I couldn't work. I had no money. I had no hopes of making money. So we go. Is he going to hook up for real this time? No, he's not. They're down there. Okay, one just hit it then. As I'm reeling it up, one hit it. Did he hit it, or am I just hung in something? Oh, what am I hung in? What am I hung in over here? How did that happen? How did this happen? What the hell am I hung in? Am I in my anchor rope? That fish let it go, and the next thing I know, I'm hung in something. It has to be my anchor rope. I am not pulling that anchor up, y'all. If my hook and rig is in that anchor rope, I will cut it. And when I pull my anchor up, I will get it back then. But I don't want to pull that anchor up and then have to waste time getting reset, re-drop an anchor down, spook them fish that are down there in the process. I'm in that damn anchor. He swam back there. I got in that anchor rope I don't know how that happened. The fish let it go and I end up in the anchor as I'm reeling it up. Crap. I do not want to pull up this anchor right now, y'all. It's not so much I don't want to pull it up, I don't want to drop it back down and spook the fish with that anchor hitting bottom. I keep hoping this is going to pop free or slide up a little further. Dang, y'all. All right, here's what we're going to do, by gosh. I'm going to just put on a new rig, man. That's what we're gonna do. I'll get that rig back when I pull up my anchor rope. It'll be stuck in that rope. Dadgummit, man. All right, let's tie on another one. So anyway, again, we're at a situation where I got no money. I got no way to make money. And ultimately, if you think about this, the food stamp system was created for people like me, right? People who just down on their luck for a short period of time. It's not supposed to be like the food stamp system is today, where people get on food stamps and they're getting free groceries for life. Okay, it ain't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be temporary while you get your life in order, basically, right? Let me grab a sinker out of there. So, again, it was embarrassing at the time. Everything about my wreck was embarrassing. I mean, I went from being independent, 25, healthy, on top of the world, to having my mom literally wipe my ass for me, because right after my wreck there, broken ribs and my pelvic injuries and all that, like, I couldn't physically do it. So I had already gone through just the loss of dignity and, all them emotions and everything that you feel when you've just lost hope, because, here I was thinking I was going to be crippled, be in miserable pain the rest of my life, and, not going to be able to work. And it really messes with your mind. Like, it takes you to some dark places. Like, I mean, that's the lowest point in my life that I've ever been. I was just angry for such a long time during that rehab process. Like, just not even angry. I wasn't even angry that I was injured or that it had happened. I was angry that I had lived through it, that I had survived the wreck, because I didn't want to live like that. Now, I know that's silly now, and there's certainly a lot of you all out there that's watching this video right now that's far worse off currently than what I was back then. And you all are living productive lives and being and handling your situation better than I handled mine. But that's where I was at mentally back then. And so anyway, just part of the process of just this situation, we got the idea that, the food stamp system was created for somebody like me that just physically can't work for a period of time. And, I mean, at that point I was 25. I'd been working since I was 16. Been in the workforce since I was 16, so I mean, I've paid into the system all of those years. I pay my taxes. Let me take advantage of that government benefit. Would you believe I got denied? I couldn't get the food stamps because at the time that I filled out the application, you got to turn over your bank records. And if you got more than $100, at this point in time anyway, this is how it worked. If you had more than $100 in any account, which at that time I did, it was going to run out because I was bleeding out money every time the bills got paid and no money was coming in. But I was responsible. I had a bank account, so I had records, and instant denied because I had $100 in a bank account. So I couldn't even get damn benefits, which pissed me off. Because I'm like, I'm the type of person this system's created for, but if I was a damn drug dealer dealing in all cash over in the projects and had about 5 kids, instead of trying to go to school and get a good job and be a productive citizen, well, they'd load me up, man. They'd give me groceries for life and discounted housing and free cell phones and everything else, you know. The system's broken, man. That's what I'm getting at. But anyway, I'm way off. I'm on a side tour of this story. So when I get comments like this person left me, writing an essay that, like, I don't know, I don't understand what people are going through in this country that are struggling financially and having hard times, they can kiss my white ass, because I absolutely know. I've been there, I've done that. I know what it feels like, and I understand. First-hand knowledge of it. But here's where I will push back on that. First off, somebody is having hard times financially, they're struggling, ain't none of my damn business, their financial problems. When I was going through my issues, you know what I wasn't doing? I wasn't writing out essays on people's comment box on YouTube or social media on their whining about it. I was trying to figure out, how can I help my situation? What can I do? Okay. And this person that left me this comment, you know, he's wanting me to fish off the bank more and use budget-friendly gear so people like him can learn how to go out there and feed their family. Well, that tells me a lot right there. Okay, that tells me that he's physically able to get down to the riverbank to go fishing. It tells me he's physically able to be able to go catch bait and cast lines and reel in fish from the bank. What are these guys doing over here? They just idling along, I guess. Hopefully they get on. You know I don't like talking around people. At least I guess they're being nice by idling on instead of just blasting out of here like a lot of them would do. I waved, y'all waved back. But this, based on this guy's comment, I could tell he was physically able enough to go fishing. And he clearly has internet service. That's another slow takedown. Is it a small fish just tugging, or, yep. They're messing with us, y'all. So we know he's physically able enough to make it to the river. If he's wanting to fish to feed his family, he's able enough to catch bait, cast lines, reel in fish. We know he has internet because he's left me a comment. So that means he also has a cell phone or a home computer or tablet or something. And he's wanting me to use budget gear. So I assume that means that he's interested in purchasing gear, since he wants me to use stuff so he would know what to buy on a budget. And so that tells me a lot about this person. That tells me their priorities are jacked up right now. Because if you are physically able to, if you're struggling financially, I'm gonna piss some people off with this, but this guy pissed me off, so I'm gonna piss off some people back. And listen, I'm having a damn good day out here. I'm just on a rant right here. This ain't like me. I ain't talking like my day's ruined or anything. It's not. I'm having a damn good time here, I promise you. I'm just telling the story, and it jars up some anger inside of me as it comes out, but that anger will quickly be gone here when I'm done with the story. I don't dwell on this kind of stuff. You know, this guy, what I'm getting at is this guy's priorities are jacked up, okay? They're way up. Instead of spending his time, if he's struggling to feed his damn family, and he's clearly if you're physically able to fish, then you're physically able to do some kind of work. Now, he may have some kind of disability. I'm not suggesting that maybe he don't. But if you have the ability to transport yourself down to the river or be transported to the river, and the ability to reel in fish and cast your lines and bait hooks and all that, well, by God, there's something you can do in society that will pay you a paycheck. And so instead of watching my videos and spending all this time writing out essays in my comment box, maybe you should be working a damn job. And if you got a job and it ain't paying your bills, maybe instead of watching fishing videos on my channel, you should be watching other types of videos. Learn how to do another skill of some kind so that you can maybe get a second job, a side hustle of some kind. Learn a new trade, something that you can monetize on the side to be able to provide for your family. Not spending all damn day watching fishing videos and lecturing me that I need to be using budget gear so that you can be educated on what gear you need to go buy with money you don't obviously have. You know, and then maybe if times are that hard, cut your damn internet service off. Cut your cell phone service off. Sell your cell phone, sell your computer, whatever you have. Get your priorities straight. You know, let me tell you, when my situation happened, I sold off everything because I didn't want to ever be in a situation ever again where I had bill collectors calling or worrying about, am I going to lose my house? Am I going to have electricity cut off? I never wanted to feel that way again. Now, I'm fortunate in my situation. Once I rehabbed my injury, I bounced back, man. Again, I have no deficits now whatsoever other than a big scar on me and metal in I'm the bionic man from the waist down. Other than that, like, I've got no, just bad memories from the wreck. That's all I got. So I'm fortunate. So when I was able to start working again, I was able to kind of get my shit together, you know, change my life, make some better decisions with my money. And from that point on, I busted my ass, man. I went back to school because at the time, when I first started rehabbing, there was still talk like, I'm going to get arthritis in my joint very quickly and I'm going to need a hip replacement very quickly. And so I thought there's a good chance I'm going to need a desk job. And at the time I was an LPN and not a lot of desk jobs for LPNs out there. So I thought I'm going to go back to school, become an RN, and then that will open up a lot more job opportunities for me so that if I ended up in a situation where I couldn't do a job that required me to be on my feet all day, I would have options, you know. So I took on extra debt initially, get myself through school. But once I was able to get out of RN school, get a better paying job, tons of overtime available, I took it. Man, at one point, and as an RN, I was working ER, 12-hour shifts. I worked 49 out of 50 days at one point in time, 12-hour night shifts. But I did it, and I kept grinding, and then I started travel nursing, and I started taking the best paying contracts I could get, you know, just to try to pay off my debt and get myself out of my hole. I sacrificed a few years of what should have been the best years of my life as far as just health and energy level and all that. I did that to get myself out of the hole I had dug from stupid financial mistakes, buying house and here we go. That one's pulling, buddy. Okay, that one's hit it hard. That one's hit it hard. That one's hooked up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He just let it go. Yanked that dang, and my drag's set more appropriately tight now. He was ripping and just came off. Whoa, that's something right there. I thought he had it. I thought he was buttoned up for sure. But, you know, it took me a few years to really kind of sacrifice and spend all of my time, extra time working and doing what I had to do, but by God, I got out. And I educated myself on money. I read the Dave Ramsey book. I read everything I could find, and I got out. And I made the life I'm living now is because of the choices and sacrifices I made back then. But by God, I never got on somebody's damn YouTube comment box and telling them they should be different because of my struggles. I never did it. I just pulled up my britches every day, put on my shoes, and got my ass to work. And so, you know, when I was going through that, man, I kept my house. I mean, my house was, and I got a good deal on my house. I bought my house as a foreclosure. Of all the financial mistakes I made, I don't know that my house was really one of them. I had all the other stuff, the fancy truck, the motorcycle, the boat, you know, and everything that you put in a house when you get your first place. You know, you got to buy furniture and TVs and beds and appliances. You know how it is. And so that's where I'd really screwed up. But I kept my house. I ditched the truck. You know, I drive a compact car now. I got rid of cable. I called my insurance companies. I got, you know, I readjusted my plans, tried to save money anywhere I could. At one point in time, I think I told this story in the other recent video, I even stopped drying my clothes because I had read an article, you know, instead of me watching YouTube videos, fishing videos, I was watching videos and researching how to save money, how to make money. And one of the things I learned in that process was that we spend about $4 a month on average on electricity for our clothes dryer. And I was like, that's $48 a year. I ain't spending that. So I went to Walmart and got me a clothesline and strung it up on my carport. And I used to hang my clothes up when I would wash them. And that saved me $48 a year because I was hell-bent on saving every penny I could. When I started travel nursing, well, one of them hit me somewhere. What's going on? Oh, you know what's happened, y'all? I just got rocked. You know what I bet's happened? Our bait's down there on that damn anchor line. Something hit that bait on my anchor line. That rig we broke off, something just rocked me. And it wasn't the front rods. Boy, wouldn't that be some crap if we hooked up on a fish on that damn anchor rope? That would be a first. I've hooked fish that swam into the anchor rope and had to pull them up before. But I've never hooked my anchor rope, broke off, then hooked a fish and reeled it up without a rod and reel or anything. I think that's what happened though, because I got jolted. He appears to be gone now though. Maybe he's over there at that one now. But, you know, my point is, even when I started travel nursing, and of course I made more money travel nursing than what I was making working at home. But I didn't just stop at that. Like when I would go to a town to work on contract, I wasn't staying at no fancy hotel. I wasn't taking, you know, these travel nurse agencies, part of your compensation package, they'll offer you quote unquote free housing. Well, it's never free. They dock your pay for it. I don't know why they call it free, but if you take their free housing, you lose your housing stipend, which is usually a lot more money than what it would cost to actually rent a place on your own. So I would take the housing stipend, which is tax-free money. You know, that's what the IRS allows, your per diems. You get housing, your lodging, and your meals and incidentals. That's tax-free money. I would take that and find my own place. And what I would do, I would go in my first day on the job. I'd get the cheapest hotel I could, you know, when I got over there. And then day one on the job, I'd go into the break room, put up a sign, say, new travel nurse, these are the dates I'm here, I'm clean, I'm quiet, I pay cash if anybody's got a room available. And usually I would find a coworker that had a extra room, you know, a basement, you know, something that would take me in. And I would pay them instead of getting a fancy hotel or renting a short-term apartment where you're paying more, you know. And I saved a lot of money that way. And I would pack my lunch every day. Man, I cut expenses everywhere I could. But the one thing I didn't do was get on damn YouTube videos and social media posts and tell other people what they should be doing because I had made dumb financial decisions in my life. And so it always gripes my ass when people tell me that I should be doing something different than what I am. I don't owe anybody anything. Okay, I don't. My responsibility at this point is to live my life in such a way that makes me happy. That's all any of us have, is our own lives. Now, if you got a wife or a husband or you got kids, well, you got a responsibility to them too. But the real goal in all of our lives should be to live it in such a way that we spend more days on this earth happy than we do sad or angry. So if somebody's having financial troubles out there, I didn't cause it. It ain't none of my damn business. And my best advice to you is, instead of watching fishing videos all day and writing out essays in the comment box, figure out how you can change your situation. Whether it's cutting expenses, learning a side job, taking overtime. Listen, I get it. There's people out there that have real injuries and disabilities, whether mental or physical disabilities, and they can't work. And, I get that. But when somebody leaves me a comment and it's obvious that they have the ability to go fishing and they have a cell phone or computer internet device and internet service, I'm not going to feel a ton of sympathy for you, okay? I'm not. And here's the other thing, okay, on the budget issue. My channel, the very first video that I posted on this YouTube channel, and it wasn't meant to necessarily be a YouTube video. I was out of storage space. Look at this bald eagle up here. Old bald eagle, a symbol of American freedom. Well, my first video on this channel was just video footage. I'd gotten a camera as a birthday gift. I filmed with it a little bit, and I was out of storage space. Didn't have a working computer at the time. And I thought, I'll put those files on the internet, on YouTube. It's free storage space. Never thought anybody'd watch. That's how my YouTube channel actually got started. But that very first video, I'm in a native Ultimate kayak, a 2007 model that I had bought used for $700. I was using ugly stick rods, which I think now are like $40 or $50, but at the time I had bought mine, they were like, I think $25, $27.99, something like that. So I was out there in a paddle kayak, everything in my kayak, rods, reels, kayak, everything, well under $1,000. And even as my channel progressed for years, I stuck with those ugly stick rods. More budget friendly. I went through a stretch a few years ago and I caught a lot of flack for it. I made a video titled, "I don't need $80 catfish rods." And I went to Academy, sporting goods store, and I bought their clearance rack rods. I got them for like $7. And I used those rods for a summer. There was a while there, I used Okuma CLX Classic reels. They were like $35 at the time. I used those to prove to people that you don't have to have nice gear to catch catfish. Now, I caught a lot of flack after posting videos. I don't need $80 catfish rods. And then me and Catfish Sumo, we come out with my Signature Series rods that are significantly more expensive than that. And I took a lot of flack for that, but it wasn't that I need expensive, fancy rods to catch fish. I don't need it. I've proven you can catch fish on $7 clearance rack rods from Academy. But I'm at a point now, with the decisions I've made and lifestyle improvements, that I don't have to fish with clearance rack rods. I could, and I could catch fish with them, but I don't want to. And so, my rods, yes, they're more expensive. Not for everybody. If you want to use clearance rack rods, by all means, you can, and you can catch a lot of fish on them. I've proven it. But if you want a better quality rod, made with better components that, in my situation here with these rods, can either be kayak, boat, or bank rods with just adding the extension handle, well, then you've got an option. But this person coming after me, like, I'm not, you know, showing budget-friendly type stuff. My ass, buddy, compared to a lot of these YouTubers that are in these big boats and pulling, I mean, these guys that pull planer boards. You know how expensive planer boards are? Them things are like 50 bucks a set, $80 a set, depending on the ones you get. And they're running multiple rods. They got a boat that's got a big motor on it. They got to fill up with gas all the damn time. If you're going to have a boat, you're going to have a tow vehicle. You can't use a compact car like I'm pulling my kayak with, so you got to have a truck or SUV. You're paying more for that. It costs more to fuel that vehicle, and it costs more to insure that vehicle. So most of these YouTube channels, when comparatively speaking, when you compare me to them, my setups, if you were going to imitate somebody and buy the exact gear you see a YouTuber using, mine's a whole lot cheaper than most. You look at this kayak here today. Now, it's a pedal kayak. So, you know, I think they're about $3,000 new. But I promise you, get on Facebook Marketplace, you get you one a few years old, you get one $1,500 bucks, $1,800 bucks, and when you got it, you're done with it. Like me and this fish right here, I'm already done with him. I just reeled him in. Let me take the hook out of you, fish. Get on out here. But you know, this kayak, I think we're gonna switch that head out. It's been hit a few times. When you get a kayak like this, a pedal drive kayak, for instance, you're done paying. Once you've paid for the kayak, you're done with it. You're never gonna put any gas in it. You don't gotta do any oil. You don't gotta do any maintenance on it. You don't have a trolling motor to tear up. You don't have to buy a battery for the trolling motor. You know, my setup here is a pretty budget-friendly option. And you know, you can get I'm in pedal kayak today. You can get paddle kayaks, I promise you. If I got on Marketplace right now and searched for Native Ultimate, which was the paddle kayak that I fished out of for years, I promise you I could find one for probably $400 or $500. And again, a paddle kayak, just like a pedal kayak, no maintenance, no boat, no motor, nothing to put gas in. You don't need a truck to pull it with. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more expenses that goes into having a boat than just the boat itself. The fuel, the tow vehicle, all that. And as far as the gear goes, like, you know, again, I'm at a point in my life now, I want to use the gear that I want to use. You know, I used the budget stuff for a long time. I caught fish with it. But, you know, I'm at a point now, especially now that I'm doing YouTube full time, you know, I want the best gear that I can get. I know not everybody's in that situation. I get it. But again, that's not my problem. And so I just, people like that, man, I don't understand them. And most of the time, when you see people like that, or you meet them and you talk to them, or, you know, sometimes I'll occasionally look them up depending on if it's on like if they leave a YouTube comment, you know, that stuff's anonymous, just screen name and whatnot. But occasionally you'll have one on Facebook or Instagram or something, and you can look them up and kind of get an image of their life and see what kind of person they are and stuff. And people like that, man, they're all the same. They're always people that blame everybody else for their problems, their poor decisions. They make excuses as to why they are in the situation they are. They never take responsibility for the fact that they screwed up. You know, you know, my financial mistakes, it was my dumb ass that walked into the dealership and bought a brand new truck that I couldn't afford. It was my dumb ass that went to the dealership and bought a new motorcycle that I couldn't afford. It was my dumb ass that when I got my house, I had to fill it full of all brand new furniture and appliances and everything that I couldn't afford. I made those decisions, not anybody else. It was my stupidity, my mistake. It ain't nobody else's fault but mine. You know, these people that go out here and, you know, and look, I get it. Kids are expensive. I don't have any kids, but I get it. Kids are expensive. That's what most people in these situations, they say, yeah, Justin, you know, that's fine for you to work all that overtime and stuff and travel away from home to better paying jobs, but I got kids. I can't do that. I understand you can't. But was it my fault that you didn't wear a condom? Was it my fault after you had had the first accidental kid that you kept tapping another woman's ass and another woman after that, and now you got 3 kids by 3 different women that you're paying child support to every one of them to? Is that my fault? No, it's your dumb ass's fault for not being more responsible. Now look, I get it, accidents happen. I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate that I ain't got a bunch of bastard children out there right now that's hitting me up for checks. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes with women too in my life, okay? But that ain't nobody else's fault, you know? And so these people that just make excuses for themselves instead of taking responsibility, that's what gripes my ass the most, is we're just in a point in time in life where nobody takes personal responsibility. This fish right here, man, he's biting that hook, and like if he gets stuck with it, he'll blame me for putting it down there. But really, it was him that chose to eat a bait with a hook in it. And I've went on a long rant here that have probably run off most of the audience, and I've probably pissed off a bunch of people in my audience that's just watching this video and clicking on it so they can leave a comment that will gripe at me for something. I hope I've pissed all them people off. But the bottom line of this is, and I'm gonna let this topic go because I know y'all are sick of hearing of it about now. If you're the type of person that's about to leave a comment in my comment box, an essay, whining to me about your financial problems or complaining about how I'm doing things on my channel, I don't give a damn. You are wasting your time and energy that could be used toward a lot more productive things, because you ain't getting no sympathy out of me, and I ain't changing a damn thing I'm gonna do because of your whiny asses. So that's that, y'all. If you like how I do things and how I am, you're welcome to come fishing with me anytime out here, man. I try to bring yins with me as often as I can, hopefully 2 or 3 times a week here on this channel. But you don't like how I am, how I do things, the gear I use, well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Because I don't need you, is what I'm getting at. I don't, it ain't worth the hassle to me. If I got to kiss ass to people to get them to watch, you know, it ain't worthwhile. I hope you watch, you know, I hope people watch, obviously. I want people to watch. But I don't want those type of people to watch because I don't have no interest in dealing with them. Anyway, enough of that crap, y'all. Y'all don't give a crap about that. That's me going on a way too long a rant with some side detours down to, I can't remember that government agency there that's responsible for the food stamps. But yeah, they denied my ass because I had $100, more than $100 there in a bank account. That whole system, buddy, it's broken. It's corrupt. I don't know how you fix it either. That's why I shouldn't be in no politics, even though I have considered running for my local politics, political offices, because I'm so sick of our current city mayor, who is he's a real estate developer is what he is. He does more real estate deals in my town than any real estate agent could ever dream of, and him and his city council has sold land and built apartment complexes and duplexes and subdivisions everywhere. Now you can't get anywhere in my town. It's gone to crap, so I've considered running for local office to hopefully preserve what little bit of town we have left. I think everybody that sits in traffic all the time in my city would maybe vote for me versus the current regime. Are we going to get this white bass eat finally? White bass has failed us thus far. We may end up going back to skipjack chunk. I think that one's hooked up. Okay, here we go. Nope, he let go. We went through a little dry spell here. I've been just talking and rambling on, but we've had a little stretch here where okay, he's got it now. Maybe he'll stay hooked up this time. We've went through a little spell here. We were getting the big fish consistently there for a little while, and now we've had some missed opportunities and some smaller fish that have hit. I guess it's going to be a small one too. He's knocked the head bait off and he's eat the fly. Fly fish. You could have not knocked the head bait off there, fish. That white bass hadn't done much for us anyway. I'm going to put another chunk of skipjack on. Get that slime off there, fish. Come on in. You ain't going to open your mouth for nothing. You have that fly out of there. Give me that hook, fish. How many people you think I've pissed off with my rant? I bet you I've lost a few people today. We could stand to lose a few of them type of people anyway, couldn't we, fish? Yeah, we could. Get out of here. Y'all, I feel like I moved funny again. Is it? I'm gonna tug on my anchor rope just a minute to see if that fish is. I don't feel him. Maybe I imagined it. That's gonna be something today though if I go to pull up that anchor and we got a fish on there that's hooked to my hook, that's hooked to my rope. Or, here's the other scenario. I go to pull up my anchor and my dang hook and my rig and everything that I thought I was going to be getting back is gone because the fish pulled it off there. That could possibly happen today too. I'll go back to a chunk though, I think. And get this thing cut. We're gonna try it again. The white bass there just wasn't. I was hoping it was we were doing so good on the head bait. I was hoping it would be kind of a head bait bite and not necessarily just a skipjack head bite. But the white bass head just didn't produce for us, so we tried it. We can say we've tried it. We got another one in the cooler there we may use at some point. We may also try a chunk of white bass at some point. But right now, we're going to take this big meaty section here of skipjack and we're going to drop it down. Hopefully we're going to have some better quality fish come through here again soon. I'm about rested up now and ready for another battle with a big one. My arm was gotten a little tired there for a little while though. We were catching so many good quality fish. It just don't happen like that all the time. I wish it happened. Where you caught big fish and a bunch of them all the time. There's some YouTubers out there that'll have you believe they catch big fish all the time with their social media posts and their edited, basically highlight videos. You know, if you edit a video down, you can make it look like, and post them once a week or so, once or twice a week, you can make it look like you catch big fish all the time. But in reality, everybody, I don't care if it's fishing guides or YouTubers or just casual fishermen, everybody has dry spells, tough stretches, skunk days. Everybody does. You know, that's how it goes. Now, there's a lot of guides that are good at catching fish, numbers of fish. That's why a lot of them, I think, like dragging with planer boards, because you can pretty much ensure that you're not going to get skunked. And if you're having somebody pay you money to take them on a guide trip, obviously you don't want to get skunked. You know, you can make excuses for not catching big fish on a particular day. You can say the weather is such, water conditions are such, you know, yada, 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 the list goes on. But if you don't catch anything and somebody's paid you whatever the guide service fee is, that's tough. So you go out there and you drag and you use smaller baits, you can ensure that you're going to at least catch something and put some people on fish. So I understand why they do what they do. But a lot of them have you believe that they're just God's gift, and in reality, everybody has bad days. You know what I need to do, or else I'm gonna have a bad day tomorrow. Bear with me a second here, y'all. I gotta get my purse here. This is my camera bag, but I call it my purse. It's actually pretty functional. This is the people on the budgets right now are gonna, this is a Christmas present, by the way, but they're gonna be all over my ass about this. This is a Yeti dry bag. It's got this magnetic liner here. And usually when you close it, it's got enough air in there that, and I'm not gonna throw it in the water to find out, but I'm inclined to believe that thing might float with just the amount of air that's in there when that thing's closed. But I keep my camera gear in there, and I've also got me a buff, because this sun today is gonna give me a nice little sunburn on my face, neck, and ears if I ain't careful. So I'm about to put on a little sun protection. I should be wearing some sunscreen. That's what all the dermatologists and internet experts will tell me. And I do wear sunscreen sometimes. If I go to the beach, I'll put on sunscreen. But I generally try to avoid it. I would much rather wear long sleeves and a buff, because, go with me on a conspiracy theory here, y'all. Let's go down that route. Skin cancer, rates of skin cancer in the United States are higher than they've ever been. And let's have this right here get thumped. Take it, fish. He's got it. Which way are you gonna go with it? Please don't get in the anchor rope. I think he dropped it just then. Just tug on that line, see if he dropped it. Yeah, he's gone. Another little one nipping at it there, eating in my gut pocket. But skin cancer rates in this country are higher than they've ever been. And you know what else is higher than it's ever been? The rate and percentage of people who use sunscreen. Now, if you get a bottle or spray can of sunscreen and you read the ingredient list, good luck being able to pronounce any word on there. It's all a bunch of chemicals that you're spraying on your skin and rubbing on your skin, which is basically a giant sponge. That's what our skin is. It absorbs these chemicals. Now, are these chemicals safe? Well, we're led to believe they are. Maybe they are. maybe 50 years from now, we find out there was something in one of those chemicals that caused some problems that we're not even aware of yet. Time will tell. But we're told the sun and being out in the sun, exposure to the sun, puts us at higher risk of skin cancer. That's what we're told. And that's why they need to sell us this product. But, and this is a little common sense and logic, and maybe a little conspiracy theory. If the sun is truly the reason, if the sun is damaging our skin and causing us to have higher incidence of skin cancer, wouldn't it be shown in places like closer to the equator where the sun is more intense? Wouldn't those places have a higher incidence of skin cancer than places farther away from the equator? That's not how it happens. So I'm just not 100% sold. I don't like sunscreen. I don't like the greasy feeling on me. I don't like having it on my hands and then handling my bait. I don't like the idea of putting chemicals on my body that I don't know even how to pronounce the words in them. So I'm pretty content in myself with just wearing long sleeves, pants, putting a buff on, try to protect my face the best I can. I mean, I don't want to get sunburned, obviously, but the whole needing sunscreen thing, I kind of maybe push back a little bit on. Maybe we do. Maybe we're just being sold a product we don't need. I'll let you make your own decision. My statements are merely opinion, nothing factual about it. I don't have the science to back up anything I've said, and I don't really have the desire to go get the science. I would just rather, a day like today, the sun's beating down on me, I feel my neck starting to burn a little bit, I'll just put a buff on. Some people have said, well, Justin, you're out there in the summer, you got a life jacket on, you've got long sleeves on, pants on, aren't you hot? You know, and obviously today I think the high is going to be 70 something today. I'm not going to get hot today. But, you know, summertime where you've got 90 plus degrees, sure, you're going to get hot, but you're going to be hot regardless. It's all in what you get used to. If you get used to wearing a life jacket and long sleeves and pants, well, it's just, you just adapt to it. It's like somebody who works outside, you know, maybe a road worker doing asphalt work or something, or somebody that's a roofer in the summertime up there putting on new shingles, 100-degree days. You know, if you or I, somebody who didn't do that kind of work, went out there and started that job in the hottest part of the summer, we're probably going to struggle a lot. But once you're in it and you're adapted to it, it's still going to suck. I'm sure it's miserable on them, but they can at least function and get through the day, whereas an average person tried to do what they're doing in those conditions would probably fall over. Dehydration, heat stroke, whatever. It's training on your body, you know. If this bass fisherman will stick around a little while, he's going too fast to see it, but this rod over here on the left's getting hit. You asshole. He's come right up here beside me. He's going to loop around and go in there right through there. Why didn't he just, he come up this, why didn't he just go in right there? He wanted to make sure these waves hit me from every possible angle. Because he's literally, we're going to get hit this way, behind us, and now this way when all them waves come. And he could have just went right through there. These people are dumb. Bass fishermen, man. They got, he's got a $50,000+ boat. few $1,000s worth of tackle, he's going to catch a fish 1 to 3 pounds on average. The guy who's leaving an essay on my comment box talking about fishing on a budget, that's who he should be talking to. These bass fishermen that need $100,000 worth of gear to catch fish that are 1 to 3 pounds in size. Well, I can come out here in a kayak with 2 rods and catch huge catfish. And he's over there chewing on that head bait. I can't tell if he's sitting there with it or nope. We had the big fish come through there earlier. Okay, now he's got it. I just picked up on it there, he wasn't there. He's chewing up that bait. But you know, we had those good quality fish come through. Now we've got some smaller fish coming through. And I see them on the screen. I don't know if I can pull it up right there for y'all or not. I think maybe he's got it for real this time. Nope. They're just toying with me. Toying with me like all these bass fishermen back here. This must be a popular creek, because we've had for no more boats than I've seen on the water this morning. It seems like every one of them's been in this creek. I mentioned that here, some of my other trips down here recently. This is bass fisherman heaven down here for East Tennessee purposes. It's one of the most well-known lakes for larger bass. I think they've got the Florida strain bass in here, is why they're typically a little bigger. But comparatively speaking, you know, Chickamauga here for bass fishing, if you compared it to some of the lakes in Florida or Texas, California, they don't compare, man. Those are trophy fish destinations, not this place. I mean, for East Tennessee, sure, here's one on the chunk. Maybe we finally got another solid hook up here. Okay, he's going to take off. Okay, maybe we finally got us a little better. He spun us all the way around here, folks. He spun us every which way. He's still going too, man. He's headed out. He's going to spin us in a 360 here. We finally got us another better quality fish. It's been a little while. Got spoilt there first thing with all them big fish coming through. Now we've been dealing with dinks for the last little while. I don't know how long it's been. It probably feels longer than what it actually has been. Listen here, he's gave up trying to swim that direction. Now he's going to come back toward us. Hope in his journey around going completely around the kayak here, I hope he don't end up in the anchor rope too. Come on up, fish. Let's get a look at you. He says we'll look at him when he's dang good and ready. We on this fish's schedule today. He's waited to whatever time it is here. Probably 10 o'clock or later now, I guess. But you know, like I mentioned there, earlier in the week, Monday and Tuesday, the better fish came 10, 11 o'clock. That's why I wasn't in a hurry getting out here today. I thought I'll just try to get out here about 11, fish till around noon. I gotta get my car serviced this afternoon, but I can fish here till around noonish and still make it home. Plenty of time to get to that appointment. Come back up here, fish. I saw his tail a little bit. Oh yeah, there he is, a big one. I was looking into the sun when he come up the first time. I don't know if y'all could see better than I could or not. I was looking right into it on that glare. Goodness gracious. This is another strong fish right here, buddy. I'm just hanging on. He's trying everything he can to go back down. And he's taking some line down too. He's working his way back down there. He says he's going home. He said he's seen enough of this crap. He's headed back home. He said this ain't what the brochure looked like up here. He got to the amusement park and the lights were faded and the funnel cakes are stale, he said. Goodness, man, this fish is strong. I'm just hanging on to him, letting him do his thing. We got us another good one here, folks. This one on the chunk. I guess it turned out to be a waste of time to use the white bass for the time we used it, because the skipjack has definitely outperformed, whether it's the head or now the chunk. Golly, bum, this thing's got to be damn near on bottom again, as much line as he's taken. He's going to end up in my other line over there too before it's said and done. I don't mind that. I just hope he don't get in the anchor rope. Yeah, he's in my other line. That's okay. I don't mind a tangle for a big fish. I just really don't want to. I don't want to have to pull the anchor up. That's what I don't want to do. And I don't want to lose him in the anchor. And my anchor out here today, in case any of y'all are wondering, it's just a dumbbell. No current coming through here. There's no reason to have like a traditional anchor. I used to use a 10-pounder, and I think I lost it or something. This one I got today is a 15-pound. Pretty sure it was a 10-pound I used for a long time, but I got the 15-pound now. 15-pound dumbbells cheaper than an anchor anyway. These people making these catfish anchors, buddy, they're proud of them. And God forbid they stamp the word kayak on it. That's going to increase the price 25%. Something about putting the word kayak on something. Kayak anchor, kayak trailer, kayak, anything with the word kayak, you're paying a premium. Come here, fish. Oh man, he just ain't done. This is a good one, buddy. This is another beast right here, man. We got us another golly whopper, man. Goodness. This is fun, y'all. This is fun. I'm literally just sitting here hanging on right now, and he's still, to this point in the fight, we've had to be at this a few minutes now. He's still taking some line this deep into the fight. Oh, here comes a boat. Here comes a pontoon boat. I hope they're pleasure boating and not catfishermen. There are a million of them on there. Come on, fish. My arm's getting tired, fish. Goodness, he's going back down. It's kind of like, this right here is what it's like when I go shark fishing and I'm just literally just hanging on while they pull me all over the ocean. It's kind of like that right now, just not as big a fish and not as powerful a fish. But that's how it is when you go shark fishing in a kayak, man. You just, after that initial run, you just literally, you catch up with the shark and you hang on like this and you just let them pull you for a couple hours. And they eventually tire down where you can hopefully get down to your leader. I'm just hoping I hope he don't end up in my anchor, and I hope the friction of the line rubbing on my other line that he's wrapped up in, I hope it don't cause the line to break, just the friction. I know I'm gonna have to put some more leaders in this kayak. I usually just keep a little baggie there with a few extra leaders and a couple extra sinkers, because I don't ever lose any gear when I'm doing this style of fishing. But today we lost that hook in the fish, and then we lost the other rig there on the anchor rope, so I'm gonna have to put some more leaders in here, or we're gonna come out tomorrow and be in trouble if we lose a rig or something. Okay, we gotta be getting close here. Fish, why don't you take a break a minute? You know you got a good one when the fight takes this long. Man. If I could have got the fish that we've got today during my tournament down here, I'd have won easily. I fished way upriver from here during the tournament. I had gotten on a bite up there, and I caught fish on tournament day. I got second place, but I only had one over 40 inches. It was like 41 and a quarter, I think. So I ended up getting second place. But if I could have got my 3 biggest fish here on this spot today, would have easily won the tournament. Next year, if they have another tournament here next year around the same time, by gosh, you may see me on this spot. This may be where I end up coming. These guys, they'll be tripping over their tampon strings to get to these creeks at next year's tournament after watching me catch all these fish in the videos here. I'll have to find some other creeks that I ain't put on video for tournament. Oh man, that's a good one, y'all. That is another beast right there, buddy. That is another beast. Man, oh man, oh man, what a fish. Whew. You know what I should probably do? I should probably be a good influencer here and try to get me a little cell phone video for a social media post. Y'all be influencer with me a minute. If I can get this thing going, get him up here. Y'all take a look at this fish right here, man. He's in my other line. I think he's in my transducer mount on the kayak now. That is a golly whopper for sure right there, man. It has been a golly whopper kind of day. I've lost track of how many fish I've caught now, but there has been some big fish and several of them. I just got another one right here. That's a beast, man. I'm gonna get this thing landed, y'all. All right, you'll see that on the gram right there, folks. Got to play the social media game, even though I hate social media. YouTube 101. Do social media crap. Okay, fish, let's see what we can do with you if we can get you landed. How tangled up are you in this other line? Not very, apparently. You're actually not. Yeah, maybe he's more wrapped up in it than I thought. Let's see if I can give myself some slack on that other rod, so when I bring him in, and this is going to be a chore to get this one in, buddy. Okay, I've got hold of him. I've got hold of him here, y'all. Are you ready? Here we go. Holy cow, that's the biggest one of the morning. Oh, buddy. That's the biggest one of the morning right there, man. That's an absolute gollywhopper right there. Oh man, y'all, this is awesome. This is so awesome. Here we are. I don't know what time it is. I'm sure it's around 10, 11 o'clock. Right here in that time period, got fish. The other 2 times I come out here, he's got that line wrapped around his tail, man. Oh, y'all, fist pump for sure. My section's up here. Let me turn my screen on there. Oh, man. You don't catch them like this every day, I don't anyway. Oh man, I gotta get this line out from around his tail right now. Okay, there that goes. Holy cow, y'all. Holy cow. This is a good one. Okay. Oh. Let's see if I can hold him. Oh man. Oh, that's exciting, y'all. I hope that bass fisherman over here can see this so he can see what a real fish looks like. I'm speechless, y'all, man. What a battle. I mean, that took several minutes to get this thing in. And he was digging the whole time. I mean, he did not want to quit. This thing is big and he is thick, man. I mean, look at that thing. Now, I don't weigh fish, but I can just tell you, he's heavy. Don't get me started on weighing fish, y'all. That's a whole nother rant for another day. Oh. All right. I'm gonna let him go. I'm just gonna let him slide over like this. See you, fish. There you go. Whew, buddy, that's another one. What a day, man. What a day, buddy. I tell you, all the days that you come out and you don't do worth a diddly doo-doo, and you keep showing up and you keep grinding, you keep putting in the time, when you get days like today and fish like that, it all makes it all worthwhile. I love doing this anyway. You know, I love just being out here in the kayak, but when you get to fish like that, it's a special day. Oh, it's a special day. I'm covered in slime, man. You know you've had a good day when you covered in slime. We got to put some new baits on. Oh, man. Oh, man, y'all. That was awesome. That was awesome, y'all. You know, what's unfortunate, though, is I've even fish like that, I got pictures. Well, I'll take pictures, screenshots from the video footage that we're getting here. That's how I get my pictures. But the camera I'm using today don't take the best pictures, like the highest quality. You're not getting the highest quality image from the video footage. The GoPro, that's one thing they do really well. Oh crap, I think this line, I got this line undone from my other line, but I think he got it in my pedal drive. Let's see where we're at here, yeah. Y'all reach down there and grab that line for me, would you? There we go. But the GoPro, if you take still pictures from GoPro footage, video footage, it saves them in like really good picture quality. But this DJI camera does not. So the pictures aren't going to look as good. That head right there, man, I'm gonna feed that one to the hungry children down there, because they've ate the gills out of that thing. You know, the bad thing here too is we've went through so many heads. I don't know if I have any more. I don't have any more fresh skipjack heads, because this cooler here is a smaller cooler, and so I'd split my bait up to use half today and half tomorrow, and we've went through all the heads because we had that one fish, I think, knock the head off, and then we lost one down there in the anchor rope, and so we've gone through more heads than I would have liked to have today. I wish we got them scraps there in the floor, I guess we could reuse, but that fish there ate a chunk, so we'll just put on a couple chunks here. We also got that white bass still in the cooler, which I could use a head off of it, but just the fact that we've done so much better with the skipjack today, I'm gonna stick with it. I'll save that. You know what I'll do? I'll save that white bass and use him for my thumbnail. When I leave here today, I gotta get me a thumbnail don't let me forget to do that. I gotta have a thumbnail for this video, get y'all to watch it. Gotta give people a reason to click on the dang thing. Let's send that chunk down. We'll send another one down. We'll sit here with 2 chunks, and man, y'all, them some big fish. Them some good quality fish right now in this area. Of the 3 creeks here that I have tried out, and maybe it's just right place, right time today, but this one has definitely been, I've gotten big fish at each one of them, but today's definitely been the best quality fish, for sure, of the 3. Worth the drive, folks. Worth the drive for sure. I don't care if I get stuck in some traffic on the way home. I hope I don't. I hope I ain't bringing that on myself. But I'm still going to go home happy today. Let's put this tail piece back here in the cooler. Got a cooler, man. I got a little igloo cooler for this kayak because my tank well, I love this kayak. It's so much fun to fish out of, but if there's one deficiency in this kayak, this model anyway, it's the fact that the rear tank well isn't very big. Let me see if I can take a camera here and show you. So my tank well, I can't fit a very big cooler here. Now my Yeti 35 on my other kayak, it will fit in this back hatch here. But this igloo, you know, this is just a cheap Walmart cooler. Look at all that ice in there from yesterday, man. It's already melted. Like my bait's just sitting there soaking in water, and that's not good for your bait. You want to take care of your bait, keep them out of water. Keep them cold, but you don't want them sitting in water like that. So what I need to do is quit being so damn lazy and just unstrap my Yeti cooler there from my other kayak when I'm not using it and stick it in this one. That's what I need to do. What I want to do is buy a bigger cooler from my other kayak and take that one out and leave the Yeti 35 in here all the time, because it will, you know, and I have that Yeti, but I mean, there's a lot of different cooler brands on the market that are that style of cooler. But they do hold ice so much longer than a just cheap plastic cooler like I got here in this kayak. So, I mean, I had I had most of a bag of ice on the bottom. Then I had my baits on top of it, and then more ice on top of them, and now the whole damn cooler there is just full of water. And it ain't even been that hot. Yesterday afternoon, it was warm, I think high 60s or so, and then today it's, you know, probably around 70 degrees right now. So it's not like it's hot. It's just, it don't take long to melt in one of those coolers like that. I don't know if I've talked about that on video. This may be a rerun story, as this bait over here is already getting tapped. You may be hearing a rerun here possibly. But I had talked about justifying, either on video or to somebody, justifying getting an expensive cooler. Because when you look at what you pay for ice, and there's a little ice machine near my house that I normally go to. I normally try not to go to gas stations because I just don't like going in. But there's one of them, it's like a standalone ice machine near my house, and you go up, put your card in, it spits out some ice. You can either have ice come out in a bag, or you can just open up your cooler and it'll come out the chute there and fill your cooler up. And after tax, it's $3.10 a bag at the place by my house. You go to a gas station, it's around the same price. You typically get less ice at the gas station. Those are like 10-pound bags. I think the ice machine, I think if you get it in the bag, it's 16 pounds, and if it comes out the chute there, it's 20 pounds for the same price. But if you're somebody, if say you're a catfisherman, somebody like me, you go catfishing a lot and you've got to store bait a lot, and so you buy a lot of ice throughout the year. If you look at a cooler, I think my Yeti cooler, I got it on sale a few years ago. I think it was it $179 or $189 shipped to my house, like tax and shipping, everything. It was under $200. That's expensive for a cooler, it is. But ice lasts so much longer in it than it does in one of these $20 coolers. So when you look at it over the course of time, when you're factoring in ice being $3 a bag, and you look at how much more ice you have to buy, you get the cheaper price up front with the less expensive cooler. But then over the course of time, all the extra ice you buy, you end up paying more money than what you would have paid for an expensive cooler to begin with. So it's worthwhile, in my opinion, to go ahead and plunk down the money for the fancy cooler just to save money in the long run by not having to buy as much ice. Now, with that said, getting a size of cooler that I want would be $500, and because I need that Yeti with the UT orange color. I need me a Tennessee Vols Yeti cooler, y'all. I need it in a bad way, but I don't want to spend $500 on it, because you got to buy a lot of ice to make up for $500. It's one thing. $189 is one thing. $500, buddy, that's a lot of ice, especially when I already have one Yeti cooler. That fella writing essays on my comment box, imagine if I had 2 Yeti coolers on this channel. Holy cow. He'd write me a 2-page essay in the comment box. I think this fish is trying to swim off. No, he's let it go. Let's make sure this bait ain't foul hooked since he's hit it a couple times. Knocked our fly up there around the bait, didn't he? We got our hair from our fly all around our hook there. There we go. Yeah, y'all, I was hoping. When I'd seen them Yeti coolers up there at Academy, they're Tennessee orange. I had seen them right before I went to Las Vegas there on vacation. last month, and I had told myself then if I hit the jackpot out there, if the Wheel of Fortune machine was good to me, I was going to buy me one of them coolers when I got home. But unfortunately, I didn't hit the jackpot. That old boy at the hockey game, I'm pretty sure I told that story. He had bet $4,000 on the hockey game, and at the end of the game, when Las Vegas had the game won, well, they had the game in control, you know, that's about to win. He was excited, man. He was showing that ticket off to everybody around him, and at one point, he handed me his ticket. And I looked at it, and there was $4,000, and I think he was going to win $2,600 and something. So that ticket he handed me was worth $6,600. And that was as close to a jackpot as I got. I told my girlfriend out there with me, I was like, boy, he's lucky I'm honest, because I could have outrun his ass. I could have ran off with that ticket. And them gambling tickets out there in Las Vegas, you go up to a sports book and place a bet, they just print you off this receipt-looking thing, got a barcode and the game on there and how much you bet, how much you win, all that. Like it ain't assigned to you. Like anybody, if that fella dropped that ticket out of his pocket and you picked it up and went to the sports book and cashed it in, that's your money, you know. So he was living very dangerously, handing that dang ticket around out there. But if I had hit me a $6,000 jackpot, I'd probably spent $500 of it on a damn Yeti cooler. It would not have been a financially responsible decision. But again, just circling back to my long rant, me sacrificing a lot of my better years as far as energy level and all that goes, my late 20s there, early 30s, got myself in a situation now where I was able to pay off all my debt, my student loans and my house, and you know, now I'm at a point now where if I want a luxury item, I can do it without putting myself in a bind. But I still have that mentality that just, even if I have it, I have a hard time making the purchase, you know, because I'm just cheap in my mind now. I've trained myself to be cheap. I say frugal most of the time. My girlfriend tells me cheap. But I'm taking her ass out later tonight, though. So I don't want to hear her calling me frugal tonight when I'm going to take her out to the bowling alley. She's kind of been put on the back burner this week, you know, with me. Look right here at this bird. Look at that bald eagle. Oh, he was going down there. He was going to get him a fish. He pulled up last second. That fish pulled up like some of these people with too many kids should have pulled out. If these fellas in my comment box had the discipline of that eagle, they wouldn't have 5 kids by 5 different women. But my girlfriend, she's kind of been put on the back burner this week because I've had so much to do. Like I've come down here, I fished down here Monday and Tuesday, and then yesterday, of course, I made the bait run. That was a shorter trip. But then back down here today, and then I've had all kinds of projects around the house this week because the weather's been nice in the afternoon, so I've sprayed weed killer. Y'all hear that bald eagle over there? I don't know if y'all can hear that on my fancy pants microphone. I worry about that kind of thing, losing some of those surrounded nature sounds with this microphone. But I've had all these projects like spraying weed killer. That's a time-consuming project that turned into more time-consuming because my switch was bad or my plug-in was bad. I had to figure that out and change it out. And then finally get that done, and my wand, the spray wand, had corroded since the last time I'd used it. So I had a bunch of holes in it, and I go to spray, I'm spraying out every which way. So I had to go get another wand, which couldn't get that the night of because Tractor Supply and Home Depot didn't have any, so I had to wait till the next day. So I spent a lot of extra time on top of the time it took to actually go around my property spraying. And then I'd rented a brush cutter from Home Depot and cleared some area around my property and along a fence line in the woods there. So that was a little bit of a project. I had to mow, and I've been working on this damn electric tricycle or trike. You know, this company sent Daphne this thing, and most of these bikes I've gotten take 10 minutes put together. You pop a handlebars, front tire, pedals on, man, you're golden. These things come practically assembled. And this trike is stated to be 65% assembled. When it's shipped to you, I received a box of parts. And I've never put together. I'm not good with tools anyway. Like, I can come out here and catch a catfish. I feel like I'm most days fairly proficient at that. I can't use tools I am not mechanically inclined. Everybody's got skills in life. Everybody in life is good at something. And everybody in life has got things they're not good at. And I'm not good at using tools. So now I had this box of parts delivered for a tricycle that I've never put together anything like that before. As this rod over here is getting messed with now. We got another one on. Let's see if he'll stay buttoned up. Nope, I just felt him come loose. So this project, this bike, when I got it, I thought it'd take me 10 minutes to put this thing together. Well, 10 minutes turned into 2 hours on the first night, and I still had my whole carport spread out there with parts laying everywhere. Didn't even have it all done, so I ended up finishing it yesterday. I spent another 2 hours yesterday getting the rest. I've spent about 4 hours now assembling this damn tricycle. And I left it charging. I'd hooked the battery on there last night and plugged it in. I'm going to try it at some point here this afternoon and see. I hope to God this thing don't fall apart on me. If y'all hear a news story about a wannabe YouTuber dying in a tragic electric bike accident, it's probably me, and that bike is falling apart the first time I try to ride it. But I think I've got it together 4 hours of labor later. So, all these projects I've had this week, stuff I needed to get done, have been time-consuming projects, and they have turned into even more time-consuming because of all the unexpected issues I've ran into. So the girlfriend, she kind of got put on the back burner this week, but tonight, we're going out tonight, taking her bowling, go up there and throw the rock. Me and her both like going bowling. She's a good sport about it. She hates me beating her every time, but she's a good sport about it. She takes it. She takes it well. Better than this fish is going to take that hook, because he's already, I think that's a small fish down there messing with that. But I'm feeling like tonight, buddy, I'm thinking after catching all these big fish today, having a good day out here, unless my arm gives out, I'm going to bowl about a 200. I may not be throwing the rock quite as hard tonight with as many bicep curls as I've done out here with these big fish today, but I'm going to go throw the rock nonetheless. Like Big Ern McCracken, buddy. I'm going to bowl me a turkey at some point. Try to hit that 200 mark. NFL draft is tonight. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Day's Thursday. Yeah. 25th. Draft is tonight. Up there in Knoxville, up there at the main event, they got them big screen TVs right in front of where you bowl. And so last year, I was up there during the draft, and it was pretty cool to watch the draft right there while you bowl. So I'm going to do that again tonight. My girlfriend don't give a damn about the NFL draft, but she does like going bowling. So I'll be like, hey, honey, I'm going to take you out for a date night, hot stuff. we're gonna go bowling, and she's all about it because she likes bowling, but really, we'll be up there watching the draft while we bowl. So, a little coincidence there that the draft just happens to be on right there where we're bowling at. This time of year, they just ain't nothing for me to watch. Fall and winter, I watch football. You know, that's what I watch. So you got the Thursday night game, college on Saturday, and of course you got the Sunday, Monday game, and then all the talking head sports shows, they talk about the games all week long. Fall and winter there. But you get to this time of year, man, there's no NFL or no college football. Talking heads, you can only hear about the draft picks so much. And you've heard it all. Like, they ain't nothing on. But I do like watching the draft. And so we'll do that tonight. Yeah. I'll leave here. I'm going to go home, shower. I'm going to need to after all the slime on my day. Go get my car serviced. Come back. Have dinner with her. Go throw the rock. And then I'm going to get up tomorrow and come back down here. And I don't know where I'm going to fish at tomorrow. I'll be honest with you. The day we've had here today, out of these 3 creeks, this one producing the size and number of fish that we've gotten, I'm very tempted to come back down here to this spot again tomorrow. I'm very tempted. Because it's a short distance away from where I launched at. And I'm very tempted to, man. I know good and well once this video comes out, it'll be pounded. So I better catch my fish here while I can before everybody else shows up. And that's just, I always feel like, and I shouldn't feel this way, but when I film a video on a spot and then after that video comes out, if I'm either trying to fish that spot again or using maybe the same launch in that general area and going to a different spot, and I see people on a spot that I just filmed a video on. And sometimes, like, I've had people holler at me if they see me going by, like, hey, Justin, we saw you fishing here in your last video, wanted to come out and hit it. Like, they're just, it's like they're proud of themselves. They recognize that spot and they're going to fish it. But when that happens, and listen, this is public water, a person can do whatever the hell they want, fish wherever they want to. But I always kind of feel like a failure in a way, because when I go through my opening spiel on a video of telling you where I'm at and why I'm there and how I'm expecting fish to be moving through a particular area, my hope with that is you take that information and you say, okay, well, Justin's out here on Chickamauga today. It's a reservoir. He says there's no current flow, no noticeable current flow today. Water temp on that graph right there is 69 degrees. He's sitting in 44 feet of water in front of a creek mouth on the bottom edge of the drop. What I would hope was that you would take that information, and when you find yourself on whatever body of water you're in, people different areas in different climates. Alabama, for instance, they're south of me. Their water warms up a little quicker than what it does at home. People in Ohio, obviously north of me here in Tennessee, they're going to warm up a little later on. So that type of bite may not be going on everywhere all at once, right? But my hope is that when your water temps hit 70 degrees, wherever you're at, if you're fishing a similar type of reservoir, and you see how I'm set up, and you can be like, oh, well, Justin was catching fish doing this around 70 degrees at this depth, at this type of structure. Let me open up my map on my home lake or wherever, and try to find similar places that kind of match up to that. That's what I hope people will do. But always feel like a failure when people just end up just watching a video to try to spot a background and go fish that exact spot thinking it's some kind of magic spot. I mean, I hope, for those of you who watch all my videos, you know, I would hope this area here would be a prime example of how, I mean, I've hit 3 different creeks this week. They're all here kind of in this section of the river. We've obviously got a lot of fish here in this general section of the river right now. But they're all producing fish. You know, just looking at a background and being like, I'm gonna go fish that spot. You know, you don't have to do that. You know, my hope is, again, you take the knowledge and use it as knowledge to better yourself. It took me a long time to learn this stuff. You know, when I started catfishing, there wasn't YouTube. Internet wasn't a, let's see if this one here, if he'll stay buttoned up. He's barely pulling on it. Should we pick up on it? He just dropped it. I seen him let it go just then. I knew better than to pick up on that one, by gosh. I knew when he hit it, it wasn't going to work out. Another one of them small ones. But, you know, back in my day, you didn't have YouTube. There wasn't much information on the internet. You had magazines, you had books, not many. And there was an online forum at the time. BOC was what it was called. Brothers of Catfishing, Brotherhood of Catfishing, where you had some, you know, posts on there and stuff. But you really didn't have, there was no such thing of something like YouTube or anything like it, where you could open up a video and have somebody that is good at whatever it is you're wanting to learn how to do and be able to walk you through step by step on how they do it. That kind of thing did not exist in my day. So I had to spend a lot of time just trial and error, and a lot of days where I just didn't catch fish, or didn't catch many fish, or didn't catch big fish. And you know, that went on for a lot of years. And then I finally got just time and experience, figured out how I could catch fish in certain times of the year, certain places, doing certain things. And I'd gotten pretty consistent, I guess you'd say, certain times of the year. And then I got put on to the Buck Perry books. And Buck Perry was a bass fisherman. He's the godfather of structure fishing. All the structure fishing terms we use today was pretty much created by Buck Perry. And he was the first person to really figure out how fish move on structure, how they use the contours. And I read his books on bass fishing, of course, but I started applying that to catfish, and it changed everything for me. Just like this fish here has changed his own life. Nope, he just popped free. We got dinks down there messing with it. I think he just hit it again. I'm gonna hold on this rod a minute. He's got it again while I've got it in my hand here. I can't jerk on that hook like Bill Dance, because let's let it go again. I'll check these baits here in a minute. We may need to switch them out. They're going to keep down there chewing on them. But I took Buck Perry's teachings and applied it to catfish, and boy, he just won't leave it alone. I'm about to reel that bait up and switch it out and just let him have it. Okay, maybe he's hooked now. Maybe he's hooked now. But when I started doing that, when I started applying Buck's teachings to catfish, everything changed for me. My catch rates went up, both numbers of fish and quality of fish. Everything changed. And the better I've gotten at it over time. Now I'm a lot better at reading maps. You know, I've done real well in our kayak catfishing tournament, you know, the last 2 years here, well, last year and, you know, now 2 tournaments into this year, going places throughout the country, you know, places I've never been before, showing up over there and figuring out patterns and where to find fish and doing well in the tournaments. I mean, I won a tournament last year on Kerr Lake. Never fished there before. I went over there a few days before the tournament to try to get a feel for things and get a plan, and got on a pattern. Ended up winning the tournament. You danged old fish. You danged old fish. He's gonna get us all soaking wet, ain't he? Give me that stinger back too. You got that stinger in the back. Fish, get on out of here. You old devil. Lord Almighty, he's got me soaking wet here, y'all. He's got me soaking wet. Did he get water all over y'all too? Y'all survived it somehow. I don't know how. I'm gonna cut us two more baits. One for that one. We're gonna go ahead and switch out that other one too. But the Buck Perry teachings have helped me to show up places that I've never been before and have success. And, you know, I won that tournament at Kerr Lake earlier last month there. This year, I won that tournament down in Alabama on Pickwick and Wilson. And I had never fished either one of those places before I went down there to pre-fish a little bit. Well, look at this one here. We was gonna switch out that bait anyway, so let me go ahead and cut it while he decides if he wants to actually eat it. But my success at going to these bodies of water that I don't know much about is in large part, as this fish swims off, he's headed back to the main channel, he thought. Surprise fish, you got a hook in your jaw. He wants to pull a little bit now. But most of my success is really just from the Buck Perry teachings. And I've applied those teachings through time on the water and experience. And so now, people who are getting into the sport now can pull up YouTube and see my videos and other YouTubers who are explaining how to do stuff that took us years of trial and error to learn. And you can get an education so much quicker now. Boy, this is a good fish right here for no harder than he's fought. He's all wrapped up in that line. He's lassoed. He's about to take off here, folks. This is another one here that's going to go crazy as soon as we get him unwound from this line. Lord, he's come out of that line, fish. He's got that. Okay, there we go. He's going to go crazy in a minute. This one here, he's way too big to be that calm. But the point I was trying to make is if you're brand new to something and you're wanting to learn, there's not been a better time in history to learn something. When you can get on, pull up a YouTube video, TikTok video, and have somebody walk you through step by step on how to do something. That's took them years, in my case, to learn. You can watch a few videos and go out and be proficient. And I guess what to wrap up this whole story is I would hope that people would actually take the time to consume the knowledge and not just look at backgrounds and be like, oh, I recognize that landmark, I'm gonna go out there and fish that spot. This fish, he's gonna recognize the background on the video. He says he ain't ever coming back here again. This one here is also, I'm gonna move this bait out of the way. Actually, you know what? Let's set him back in the rod holder a minute. Let's drop our other hook down here while he tires himself out. Get my flying done here. That last fish had everything wrapped up there, didn't he? Goodness gracious. There we go. Let's go ahead and drop another bait down while he tires himself out. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like, in this day and time, no point to steal spots. Just take the time to consume the knowledge and learn, and then you'll take that knowledge and come at it from a different perspective and a different life experience. And you may figure out things that maybe somebody like me would never even consider, you know, just from looking at it from a different point of view and a different angle. And you may figure out some tweaks and things to change and make yourself even better, you know. But, you know, I don't try to hide nothing on this channel. Like, I show you my graph, my rigs, my depth. I don't hide backgrounds. Some of these guys on videos, they point the camera down so you can't see where they're at. Some of them, they post social media pictures. They change the backgrounds or black out the background. I don't do any of that. If I show up wanting to fish a spot and somebody's there, I'm gonna gripe and complain about it, but I'll just go on to the next spot, you know. I got plenty more spots. Maybe not as good as this one today, but plenty more spots where I can catch fish. This fish says he ain't gonna ever be at none of them spots again either, by gosh. He's gonna avoid me the rest of his life after what I've done to him today. He's got a mark on his head. Y'all see that mark right there on his head? I gotta watch this. Hang on, fish. I don't want to end up with that fly in me, fish. That's a good fish right here, man. Not compared to the golly whopper we got there earlier, but I mean, he's a good fish nonetheless. Where's that? There it goes. Couldn't see where the hook went in at. There. All right, folks, I may hold this one up here. A little picture too with the sun behind it. We just ain't had much luck with that sun positioning today, have we? These fish are gonna be disappointed when they see themselves on these pictures. That's a good fish. That's a real good fish right there, man. He's got a mark on his head. He's been in a fight down there. He smarted off to somebody, and they've took a swing at him there, and he said he took it, and he's a better person for it. probably over a woman, wasn't it? I bet it was. And fish down there fighting over a girl. Another month or so, and fish will be spawning. They'll be up there, up in the shallows and up under these undercut banks and stuff. They'll be up there nesting. Right now, they still pre-spawn, so you're getting them in a time period where they're feeding up, putting on weight and stuff. It's a fun time to be catching them. They're more active, more aggressive. You get on a bite today like we've had, man. This is living right here, buddy. I'm gonna wipe you off here. You got a little something on your lens there. Wipe your face off, y'all. Y'all like them fellas with beards that get crumbs in there and save part of their dinner for later. I'm gonna feed the hungry children with that one. Put a new piece on. I'd already had it cut anyway. Let me just cut this fin off here before we send it down. Yeah, y'all, I've had me a good day today. I don't get trips like this very often where you get large fish and several of them, but boy, when they happen, when things come together for you, it sure makes for a good day. I've had me a day. My back and my arm's gonna be tired today. If the girlfriend ever had a chance at beating me at bowling, boy, she's catching me at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, of all days, for her to be bowling against me, today's the right day for it. I think I'm gonna get me a bowling ball too, y'all. That's another purchase that I'm gonna make at some point. I used to have a bowling ball. I bowled in college. And I like to say that in such a way that it makes it sound like I was a college athlete of some sort. In reality, I had to take a PE class in college, and so I took bowling. So that's how I bowled in college. But I got me a bowling ball back then because I'm left-handed, and when you go into a bowling alley and you use the bowling balls that are provided there at the bowling alley location, they're always drilled for right-handed people. And the girlfriend and I, we normally go up to the main event when we bowl up there in Knoxville, and for whatever reason, it seems like they don't have a lot of balls that are drilled out large size. Like their finger hole sizes up there is like small, medium, large, extra large. I need a large. And half the time you gotta walk around looking forever to find a ball with large finger holes. And so I've been thinking about getting me a bowling ball and having it drilled for my hand. Well, maybe I could hit that 200 mark a little more consistently. I like throwing the rock a little bit. That was probably the one class I enjoyed in college, bowling. How do you get to be a bowling teacher? Like, I took that class at community college too, so, you know, they're not getting like a professional PBA bowler. Is that what it's called, PBA? There's a professional bowling league. I don't know what it's called. PBR is the bull rider. Maybe it is PBA. You know, I don't think a community college is getting that type of person to come down and teach that class. So how do you get that job, I wonder? How do you get a teaching job, teach college kids how to bowl? College kids who's just looking for an easy PE class to knock off a course requirement. It wasn't, I got an A. My gosh, the class helped my GPA. I'm gonna get me a drink here, y'all. I'm gonna go home dehydrated today. I've hardly drank anything. I remember in that PE class there in college, we had to learn how to keep score on bowling by hand. And I remember asking, like, I understand in the old days you would have had to have kept score by hand, but I don't remember what year it was I took that class, probably. I'm trying to think. Early 2000s, it would have been 2001 probably. I took that bowling class in college. But I mean, even back then, the bowling alleys were all at a point where you didn't score by hand. Like, you had a screen and you knocked the pins down and it would calculate your score for you. I'm like, why do we got to learn, do all this crap when it's going to score it for us? I mean, it's just keeping score on bowling's easy anyway, you know, but just like, why are we wasting time? That's my whole problem with the school system now, the education system, what these kids are being taught in school. Why memorize stuff that don't need to be memorized? technology's replaced a lot of stuff that you used to have to remember. And if society collapses and we lose the ability to have access to the internet via computer and cell phones, well, guess what? It ain't going to matter if you know how to keep score by hand in bowling, because you ain't going to be bowling. You're going to be trying to survive. So, I don't know how you get that job, though. I wonder what a community college bowling instructor pays. Yeah, I'm just thinking about that guy that wrote me the essays. He's having a hard time financially right now. If he's capable of driving himself to the riverbank or having somebody drive him there, and he's capable of, he clearly has some writing ability, having written me an essay. I wonder if he couldn't teach a bowling class. I'm trying to help that fella out, man. And I ain't making light of anybody that's having hard times financially right now. You know, I mean, I ain't trying to put nobody down or come across like I'm not empathetic to their situation. Again, I've been there, I've done that, so I understand the stress and what they're feeling. But when a person comes at me like that person did in the comment box, you can forget about me showing you any sympathy. You ain't going to get it from me in that situation. There's a lot of people I'll show empathy towards. Somebody like that ain't going to be one. I hope they watch this video too. They probably don't. You know, people like that, they're just the drive-bys, I call them. Spring and summer, you get all them people that don't normally watch fishing videos. They seem to show up. It's the fall and winter crowd here on my channel. Those are my real people. The people that stick with me, my channel members. I need to do another channel members video, especially now that I got my yard all looking good and everything. I do my channel members, I do a little behind the scenes videos for them. And just around the house there and stuff, kind of what's going on in life, show them stuff around my house and everything. Been a couple weeks. I need to do a little walk around, show them my garden. I got everything popping up in the garden. I'd planted tomatoes and peppers from actual plants that I had got there, but I planted some peas and some cucumbers by seed, and now those have started to pop up. I actually thinned out some of my peas yesterday evening, and everything's looking good in it, and that raised bed, and I made me another, I don't know if you call it a raised bed. I had some old fence posts put up, and there's a birdhouse on it, so I had some blocks, and I kind of come out just one layer or two layers of these smaller blocks around, and I put some extra dirt and compost that I had left over in it, and planted some sunflower seeds and a poblano pepper plant in it. So I need to show my channel members that stuff. Put old Daphne the dog on there. Old Daphne's been neglected this week too. Been busy, folks. Just had all these little time-consuming projects, and you know how it is. Things pile up, but now I'm trying to get everything done this week, like all these tasks and stuff, and then, you know, of course, this afternoon I got to get my car serviced. And what I'm hoping is that next week, get all this stuff done this week, then next week I can just kind of focus on just having fun again, you know, enjoying life. It's hard. There's a lot of days, and I'm sure y'all can relate to this, where you go out to do something, like maybe you go fishing, and you're out there and you're enjoying yourself and you're having a good time, but in the back of your mind, you know what's waiting on you when you get home. Like, you know you've got a bunch of stuff you got to do, stuff you don't necessarily want to do. And it kind of takes away from your experience while you're doing whatever it is that you're wanting to be doing, because you know what's waiting on you and you know what you got to do. And then you're like, well, I should probably leave a little early because I got to go do this. And so sometimes it's nice to just go out and enjoy yourself, and that be like the only thing on your mind. Like that be the only thing you got to do. And I'm hoping to get all these tasks and chores done this week so that I can get to that point where I can be that way next week. Really the only time-consuming thing, as another boat's about to come in here behind us, this is a popular creek for everything, I guess. I mean, if there's this much catfish working up in through here, there's got to be a lot of food for them in that creek. And of course, bass and crappie, that's all food for catfish. That's what these people in the boat's after today. This rod's going to go down right in front of this boat. Come on, fish, take it down so this guy can see a real fish. He's got him a bass tracker there. That fish may get it after all. Look at him standing up driving that thing. That's a pro right there. Let's get this fish. Y'all holler at that feller over there. Holler at him, get his attention so he can see me reeling this. There you go, he's looking back now. He's watching the live show over there. He's standing up there dry. I don't know what he's looking at. I see people standing up driving boats like them center consoles and stuff. He's got just a normal bass tracker. Oh man, I think this fish got my anchor. I think he may be in the anchor, folks. Oh, I feel him rubbing on it. Crap. Crapola, man. Come on, out of it, fish. Come on. I don't want to pull up an anchor here, especially no more longer than I'm going to fish. It ain't pulling up the anchor. It's really the problem. It's dropping it back down and creating that kaboom down there. I don't want to spook anything. He's in it good though. Crap. Well, here we did try to get that bass fisherman's attention, and I've made a fool of myself getting this damn fish hung in the anchor. I'm gonna pull this one up. I ain't cutting off another rig, especially with a fish on it. Wouldn't it be something if I pull this up and we got 2 fish on this anchor rope? Wouldn't that be something? The wind's blowing just enough too. We may get our other line snagged here. Y'all keep an eye on that graph. Let me know if I'm coming up shallow. I need to reel up that other line right quick. Well, there's one fish. Yeah. Lord, he ain't nowhere near done. Oh, Lord. Lord Almighty, he splashed me good, folks. I'm wearing a face full of water. You old fish, you old devil. Golly bum. This fish, man, he's out of control, folks. I see my other rig there. It's in the rope too. At least we're getting it back. It's still got the head on there too. Lord, folks, look at this fish, man. What an ordeal you've caused here, fish. What an ordeal. Oh, we're coming up shallow too. I'm gonna reel up that other line. We've done so good today with avoiding messes. And now this fish here has caused us one. I'm trying to see where that hook is at. The only way to make this situation worse is for me to end up with a hook in my finger. Lord, I'm gonna have to. I don't even know what you've done here, fish. He's got my dumbbell pulling down on him. He's got all this damn line wrapped around him. I'm gonna try to bring you in, fish. best I can. Let me give myself some slack on that rod. Boy, this right here is a mess, folks. This is an absolute mess. I don't know how you've done this, fish. I have no idea how you've done this. I can't get that dang hook out for love or money. There's one of them out. I think he's got my other rig now in his tail, which is being pulled down by the anchor rope. You danged old fish. He just plopped out. Did you see that? And he still ain't free because he's all wrapped up in my line. Let's pull him up again. We're going to reel this fish in twice. I don't even know if y'all can see him because I can barely see myself because I got water all over my winter tents here. Oh, I see that hook. It's in it. That's my other hook. I guess when he swam in the anchor rope, he managed to get it in the tail. That's from my other rig. I'm gonna get it here in a second. If it'd be still, I'd done have it gone. Goodness gracious, that hook's in there good. These catfish, man, their skin's like leather, man. It's like leather hide. What a mess, y'all. What an absolute mess. What a way to cap off a day. We've had an incredible day. And this fish just said, Justin, you've had too good a time out here. Let's just wreck your plans here of why does that hook go in there? Fish, come back up in here, would you? Come back up in here. Look at that mess, y'all. I don't know how much of that is my other rig and how much is the current rig. Okay, we got that out. You can forget about any camera time, fish, any front camera time. You've ruined it, buddy. You've ruined it for yourself. I'm gonna get you out of here now. If I can get hold of you to do it. Y'all, get rid of that fish for me. Get him out of here. He's caused too many dang problems. Lord almighty, y'all. We've drifted up shallow too. We have got a mess here. Look at this mess. At least I got my other rig back. I can see where it was in that dang anchor rope right there. That's why we couldn't pull it up earlier. So we had the dang hook through the rope. Lord, y'all, lordy days. Yeah, when you fish in a kayak with an anchor rope, there it went. Doo-doo happens from time to time. And boy, doo-doo has happened here right now. I'm gonna start cutting. Cut that line there. Now let's see what else we can do with this mess. Lord, y'all. Got my sinker back, okay. Oh, good, my anchor finally caught down there. Now that we've drifted up to 18 feet. That right there, folks, that mess is gonna take me a minute to cut loose. That's an ordeal. Y'all got water How do y'all not have any water all over the lens? Look at that in my glasses, man. I got water all over my glasses. I got my hand tore up. I got water dripping down my face, off my nose. Whew. That fish caused some damage, man. Unfortunately, that happens from time to time, though, y'all. You get a big fish, you get you in your anchor rope, which is, there ain't a lot of space in the kayak. You can't put it but so far behind you, you know, and there'll be people in my comment box lecturing me, you know, they'll say, well, Justin, you need your anchor on a quick release. That way, when you hook up to a fish, you can just release yourself from the anchor and take off. And, you know, that sounds good in theory, but in reality, when that fish hits the rod, he's usually in your anchor. If he's headed that way, he's in it before you're going to get yourself unclipped. And then when you do get yourself unclipped, you got other rods out. If you drift up shallow, well, guess what? Now you got them snagged up. And I'm setting up on a spot where I'm expecting other fish to be, right? Like, how many times have we had 2 rods get hit? Or if I'm in my other kayak, I could get 4 rods get hit. If you unhook from your anchor and you go drifting off fighting one fish, and more fish move through where you were just at, because that's the spot you were there for a reason, well, you've missed out on those chances. Anyway, just heading that off because I know it's coming. That's the first thing people's going to say when they see this. Well, you should have unclipped from your anchor. I hear it every time this happens. But anyway, y'all, here's what I'm thinking. We've been filming here almost 4 hours now. It's going to take me, from looking at this mess, 10 or 15 minutes here to cut all this and retie and go back out here and get reset and everything. I think what I'm gonna do, we may get us a bonus fish right here. I'm up here, I'm 19 feet because the wind pushed us up on this ledge while I was dealing with that fish. Oh. I better reel that up some more, or else we're gonna have that damn thing snagged too. Boy, that's all I need's another snag. But no, anyway, what I'm thinking, this is gonna take me so long to fool with. And then of course I gotta go back out here and get reset on this position and drop some more baits down. And I'm not gonna fish too much longer because I just gotta, I gotta get out of here and go get my car serviced today. So I think what I'll do, we'll probably call this the end of the video. I won't subject you through sitting through watching me snip line here and retie everything. Y'all have sat through enough out here of my nonsense today. But hey, we got on some fish today, didn't we? Today was a good day. Big fish, lots of them. Had a good time. I'm covered in slime here all over me. I've wore my arm out. The girlfriend may have a chance at beating me at bowling tonight. It's a slim % chance, maybe like 1%, but hey, that's better odds than she normally has. So it's been a good day, y'all. It's been a real good day. Thanks for coming with me today. For those of you who aren't assholes in the comment box, special thanks to you. And I'm gonna fish somewhere tomorrow. I'm definitely here on Chickamauga. I'm making the drive back tomorrow. I'm gonna have a real hard time not coming back to this exact spot considering the number and size of fish we've got here today. Because the bigger fishes we've caught, chances are there's probably some even bigger ones that are working through this area at some point. So you may see me here 2 videos in a row on this spot. Of the 3 creeks I have fished here this week, this one's definitely been the most productive size-wise and numbers. I don't know, I didn't add up how many fish I caught at each one of the other 2. I've caught several fish each one. But today's been the best day of the 3. So you may see me here again tomorrow, possibly. But either way, thanks for coming with me today. I'm gonna sort this mess out and see if I can't hook 1 or 2 more, and then I'm gonna take it to the house and we'll do it again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.